Yo, salute everybody. I'm back at it like a crack at it, man. It's your boy Cross, man. Boss Cross, CEO, man, of KrossYourHeart.com, man. You welcome in and you're plugged in with the Plug Podcast by Cross Your Heart. Y'all get on up in here. Salute Mama Smith. Salute to all of them. Salute to my brother. Happy Born Day. Salute to my little brother. Happy Born Day, man. Tried to call you, couldn't get a hold of you. But I'm going to put this on the map right now. Happy birthday, King. So, yeah, man, we're going to get into something, man. I found out, speaking on that, it's in the Midwest now. I know it sounds crazy. It's this new trend, but it all got related to this woman that was abducted. So we're going to black out like we usually do, and then we're going to get at it. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and get on at it. And everybody, I appreciate everybody coming in, showing your boy love, rocking with your boy, and we're going to do what it do. Let's go. Salute to everybody coming over, showing love, man. Hey, once again, salute to everybody. Salute to my man, King, man. Check him out, man. Born, Mr. King of New Jersey, Mr. BTB TV, where he bullied the bullies, nigga, what? Also, check out my nigga Dewberry, man. Shout out to Dewberry, Charleston White. Crazy show I heard, man, out there in the Carolinas, man. They doing big things. I heard the show was sold out. Shout out to my nigga Dewberry. I was just on there. Man, y'all go follow him too, man. And check out the game, Quality Game TV, man. We just trying to do everything, man. Push it out there, the positivity, man. If you ain't with us and you ain't for us, you biased and you are biased. So salute to everybody that's coming up in the game, man, trying to show love. I got my guy right here coming to the stage, Big Mac Mizzle, for shizzle, man. Salute, King.
You say it, fam. You already know.
Yeah, everybody, you go ahead, Mac. You can mute up about the 5:30, something like that. We can get you to get what you got to get, and then we're going to get started. You already know. Salute to everybody, man. Also follow my man, Mac Mizzle, the Mac Mizzle Show, man. Salute to him. He's doing big things, too. He's trying to spread awareness, positivity, and growth. If you don't like it, we don't really care. Let's go. Salute Marky, salute Stone. We about to get it started here, y'all. Y'all get on up in here, man. I got your boy Mac Mills up in the whip, and we ride. Let's go. Salute Maki up in the building. Yeah, we about to get started, everybody. Good morning, Shay. Everybody, good morning. Let's go, y'all. Get on up in here. We about to get it started, man. It's the new trend. It's the new trend in the Midwest right now. It sound crazy, but for some reason, it don't sound crazy to me. Let's go, y'all. The bass drop. Yeah, y'all get on in here. We about to get ready to get it started. It's the new trend, man. You trying to follow me? Follow my guy, Maki, man. Follow him on Instagram. Check him out, man. He's TikToking and rocking, man. He's making the songs for us. Us guys, man, that really trying to push positivity, and he's trying to push it too as well. You know what I'm saying? Salute to him. Salute to White Boy Lockdown Production. Salute to Damaged Goods with Regrets. Oh, man, we got a lot of people, man. We got a lot of people we show love to around here, man. Salute to my guy, Eric Scott. Yes, salute to Eric Scott. You trying to buy back the block. Holla Scott, Team Scott. Salute to you. Yes, sir, we can hear you.
The bass drop.
There you
Bass
go.
drop. Yeah,
Bass
yeah.
drop.
Woo! Everybody tap that like button.
Bass drop.
It's the Plug Podcast. Come on.
Bass drop. The bass drop.
Yeah.
Yeah, we about to get it, y'all. Yeah. Salute to everybody. Miss BTV, salute Queen, salute to everybody coming in. We got a new one right here. This one right here is going to be a mind blower. This came out of Michigan. This guy right here, man, he's already weird, but it said it's a group of these guys and they can't find these other guys. Kennedy, salute to you, King. They got these guys, man, where they're this guy was abducted this young girl, basically sexually abused her, beat her, had other guys come over there, and it's a group of them where they file their teeth down. Now they start file their teeth down so they can attack people. But it's crazy. But this just came out last night. So let's watch this. Y'all hit that like button. Everybody coming in, share this content, please.
Genesee County tonight, where a man is in custody accused of kidnapping, sexual assault, and a host of other felonies, including threatening to kill his alleged victim with his teeth that he'd filed into points like something out of a horror movie. Mara McDonald live tonight. Mara, the sheriff showed where he was being held.
Well, where she was being held, Devin, and yes, it is, the details of this are just so awful. This woman was being held in what was or is essentially a flop house in a filthy room, bound to a mattress and a bed, in a door that was locked and windows that were actually screwed shut. Let me show you.
These are the kinds of things that happen in Genesee County. They happen in Flint. They happen in Michigan. They happen around the country. People that have teeth that are filed down to points, that are threatening to rip out the throat of victims.
Genesee County Sheriff Chris Swanson going public with the case of 36-year-old Michael Barajas, who detectives say groomed and ultimately kidnapped a 20-year-old woman, holding her against her will, where she was raped by multiple men.
She not only tried to escape once, not only just twice, it took 3 times for her to try to escape.
Swanson says he screwed the windows shut and had locks on the doors. Barajas allegedly telling her he'd rip her throat out with his teeth, that he'd filed into points if she tried to run again. She was rescued when she ended up in Hurley Hospital because of a medical emergency related to a pregnancy.
We are still actively looking into this case. We know that this guy with those teeth and that guy that matches the description that's under arrest, there's more out there.
Back here live, the sheriff says while they have Barajas in custody, they are still looking for the men who sexually assaulted this woman repeatedly. We're live downtown tonight. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
Horrendous case. All right, Mara.
There y'all go. That's crazy as hell. This is starting to be a trend.
Yeah, man, I'm seeing more and more of this gruesome shit, bro. Like, what's going on? Something in the water or something?
Yeah, I don't know, bro. I don't know. Maki, what you think about that, King?
I'm listening to this, and this is why I say what I say. We talking about Megan Thee Stallion. We talking about Tory Lane. But we got individuals like this out here, and
Right.
this say, man, this should be global news. I should not just be now hearing about that, but it just goes to show you, man, that they're a real life horror movie character out there.
Yes.
To wonder, these type of people have to go out in public to get the resources and do this. They have to survive. When you see individuals like that, is it not alarming to you? Why does it have to get to this point for us to notice we got people walking around with teeth looking like piranhas?
Ain't that shit crazy? Look, and it's a trend in the Midwest now, and that's why the sheriff came out. That shit is sick.
That is very sick, man, and you just can't believe it, but you can't make it up either. It is what it is,
And I
and
had
that's
to
just
bring, and they came out last night, and I'm like, man, they said repeatedly. So there's a group of guys that are around there that's doing that, and they have this, they're grooming these girls, but then also they're just abusing them, and they mostly raping them. I mean, they said they just constantly kept raping this girl. But then told her, then they all sat around and they got a group where they fight. I mean, that shit is crazy. We're gonna play it back. That shit eerie, man. That's eerie just to know that there's people that's talking about attacking people and ripping their throats out. What the
So,
fuck?
yo, is it safe to say that Gotham City is not too far fetched? You know what I'm saying? It's probably based on reality. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a real, like y'all said, man, and like Mikey said, a real life horror movie, man. This
the
shit is,
crazy part is the fact that they said there's more out there, and this
yeah.
ain't just one weirdo. No, there's many of these people out here.
Many of these people. That's why it tripped me out, because I said, okay, maybe it could have been him being kind of weird or whatever, eclectic, whatever you want to call him. But bro, no, it's they're building these people around there, and it's coming out of the Midwest. And I don't care who it is, whether it's black, white, purple, green. There's going to be much more, because you're getting addicted to tearing flesh and eating blood like an animal. Some savage shit.
Or look what they call Erie, Indiana. You know why they call it that? You know what I'm saying? Think about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, that's real stuff, man. So yeah, salute to everybody coming in here. We're gonna run this back. This came out yesterday. This was like, I tried to find more info. There's nothing going on, but this is crazy. This shit is crazy. I just can't believe this shit. Y'all hit that like button. Please share it on y'all Facebooks, whatever. Gotta get this out.
Genesee County tonight, where a man is in custody accused of kidnapping, sexual assault, and a host of other felonies, including threatening to kill his alleged victim with his teeth that he'd filed into points like something out of a horror movie. Mara McDonald live tonight. Mara, the sheriff showed where he was being held.
Well, where she was being held, Evan, and yes, it is, the details of this are just so awful. This woman was being held in what was or is essentially a flop house in a filthy room, bound to a mattress and a bed, in a door that was locked and windows that were actually screwed shut. Let me show you.
These are the kinds of things that happen in Genesee County. They happen in Flint. They happen in Michigan. They happen around the country. People that have teeth, that are filed down to points, that are threatening to rip out the throat of victims.
Genesee County Sheriff Chris Swanson going public with the case of 36-year-old Michael Barajas, who detectives say groomed and ultimately kidnapped a 20-year-old woman, holding her against her will, where she was raped by multiple men.
She not only tried to escape once, not only just twice. It took
Damn.
3 times for her to try to escape.
Swanson says he screwed the windows shut and had locks on the doors. Barajas allegedly telling her he'd rip her throat out with his teeth, that he'd filed into points if she tried to run again.
Shit.
She was ultimately rescued when she ended up in Hurley Hospital because of a medical emergency related to a pregnancy.
And they got her pregnant.
Looking into this case,
Fuck.
we know that this guy with those teeth and that guy that matches the description that is under arrest, there's more out there.
Back here live, the sheriff says while they have Barajas in custody, they are still looking for the men who sexually assaulted this woman repeatedly. We're live downtown tonight. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
Man, y'all see that shit? And she pregnant, dog. She pregnant. They raped this woman continuously. And this woman was pregnant, 20-year-old man. Damn, got her pregnant, bruh. They probably don't know who man, this shit is crazy.
They say the most dangerous attack is a surprise attack. You wouldn't expect something like this to happen, and even if you say if you expect the unexpected, man, some people can easily be held against their will in a certain situation if they're not
That's right.
prepared. And that's why I'm a proponent of having some type of weapon to protect yourself,
That's
because
right.
you never know what can happen. And that's why when I be looking at even if I see an individual, if I see a lady by herself late at night, I'm just making sure that she able to get in her car without anyone else doing something. I'm making sure that nothing's going on, because it's easy to hold a woman against her will, and these dudes know that. That's why they went after just her. And I'm sitting here and I'm
Yeah.
thinking, man, they got her pregnant too. Just imagine the mental mind, you know what,
Yeah.
that put her through. That's a traumatic situation. Not only did she get done to her what got done to her, but now she has to make a decision. That's crazy.
Come on, man.
Wow.
That's deep.
You see all the young men out there, listen to Maki. You see what he said? He's making sure that the woman's all right when he's out there on his own, keeping six for them.
Yeah,
Take heed to
and
what he
think
said,
about what
young
now,
brothers.
that's right. And think about this too. Let's be honest. We couldn't even, if that was the case and we only know half, just the surface, imagine the horror she went through on a daily basis with these motherfuckers on the weekends when he brought all them dudes over there and they all sitting around getting high and drunk and they just constantly raping this girl. Man, that shit some foul shit, bro. And they all probably some old weird motherfuckers. Just man, that's sick.
Yeah, and like I said, there's certain people like myself that are making sure she's all right, but there's certain people sitting there making sure she's all alone so they can do what they need to do. You see,
Yeah,
everybody that's looking at you don't have good intentions. Those people are hiding in the shadows like swamp monsters, and next thing you know, they'll
Some
traumatize
bitches.
her for life. You can't recover from that. No amount of therapy can recover you.
Facts.
did you hear what Mr. Smith said? He said if she lived in Texas, she couldn't even have got to get an abortion, or she could have got charged with it.
See, and that's why
Wow.
you sit there and it makes you wonder, bro. You can't take that right away from a woman, because if a situation like that happened, no matter how you feel, boy,
Yep.
she didn't ask for that to happen.
Hell no, man. She wouldn't even, man, think about it, man. And not only that, like they knew that they knew she was pregnant. Like that's the peace, job, peace. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. You got to look at it from that point of view. That shit is just, it's, oh man, it's sad. Ja, you more than welcome to come on the panel. We're gonna
And
run
that
it
that
back.
shows that shows right there how insidious that lies. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Anybody, even rape victims, gotta keep it bit like, come on, dog. You know what I'm saying? They're just doing it to keep their numbers up because they see their numbers are dwindling. And who does the power go to once the numbers dwindle? You know what I mean? Think
that's
about it.
real shit.
And Cross, this might be a little far fetched, but think about it. They might have someone. You know how they have recruiters for like the army and stuff. They might
Yep,
have someone to the eye, to your perception, wouldn't seem like a bad person. You might just look like a normal person, but he's the one going out, and he's the eyes. He's the binoculars. He's the one scoping out people.
fact.
He might look harmless, but he's the recruiter. They said there's a lot of them. There's no way that these people go out in public without drawing attention. They probably got to use someone that don't look as crazy to find
Come
certain
on,
people.
man.
People been
I
watching that
like
lady for
that.
a while, watching her go to gas stations at a certain time of night, watching her leave grocery store at a certain type of night. This wasn't just something. Oh, we see her. No, I feel like they've been seeing her for a while, and then finally they got her, and they did what they did.
Well, and the piggyback, like you said, think about it. When you got a police officer, a sheriff that's getting on here and he's stressing this is not, like you said, this is not something, it didn't cut to the point. It's an overflow. And the only time they bring attention and awareness is when it becomes a problem. Whether it was when everybody was getting sick at first, they said, no, it's just a couple. We knew by that time it had bottleneck. Like it got to a problem. It's bottlenecking and it's spreading fast. Whether it's a cult there, where you know what I'm saying, that's in Michigan, and they're starting to see a big trend, because I think this is just the one of, think about it. There's probably women out there that are missing because of these people. They might be them, mutilated them. I mean, all types of shit. Because, like I said, if she hadn't figured out how to get out there, that's why I said salute to her and her courageousness, man. If she hadn't decided to get out of that situation, man, bro, guess what? I mean, I'm gonna keep it real. what they'd have done to the baby.
Oh my gosh. Wow. You know, and they sit there and say, I saw not too long ago that certain individuals, they'll leave certain markings or certain items on the car to let other people know that do this type of things that they do, that this
Mm-hmm.
woman, this man is alone by themselves. So you never know
Mm-hmm.
what got left on the car as a sign of, oh, this person be by herself. Next thing you know, they end
Right.
up in your back seat, or you end up drinking something you're not supposed to.
Exactly. Yeah, this is a
Yep, there's
crazy
a whole
one.
bunch of bullshit. I seen some type of video the other day where this woman's at a gas station
Good
and she's
morning,
warning
Queen. Good
people.
morning, boss victims. Good morning, Josh Salute, King.
Yeah, she's warning people because there was some type of tissue on the gas pump. Like people are leaving tissue on the gas pump and shit like that. So she's warning women always look at the gas pumps and shit like that.
Yeah, you
There's a lot of
got
shit
to.
out there, bro.
It's simple shit. What up, Ja? How you doing?
Hey,
Peace
peace,
to
job.
God, people to the universe.
Oh, Stone, most definitely, he would have ate the most definitely.
Yeah,
Hey,
so
God,
Jai, I don't think you know. So this is what
they,
they're
they, they
saying.
just
It's the
caught.
new trend, right?
Yeah, I was about to say.
Go ahead.
I was saying it to Matt. We just saw it on the news 2 nights ago that they caught these young boys caught these two Hispanic dudes. They say they're Mexicans, but they caught them at the gas station doing that shit with that toxin they be putting on the tissues and the pump and your
Yeah,
door
Yeah,
handle.
right. You seen that, right? It's
Yeah,
crazy,
yeah,
bro.
bro. Around here they caught them.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah, them young boys beat the shit out of them, bro.
good.
Hospital.
We should have beat him to an inch of his life, bro.
You know the
That's
internet
what
is
you do.
yours, so they find, our kids know now, like it's trending on the internet. But
trending.
but as a member of the Pawnee Nation, bro, 4,200 uh women of, well, I say the Pawnee Nation, but what we call the Native American people.
Yeah,
We have a name, so it's not what they call us, but
right.
4,200 women go missing and murdered every year, bro, uninvestigated, unreported.
Damn.
And it's been like a epidemic. You feel me? Like through the Midwest, the Upper Midwest. Um,
Yeah, especially,
even
but
2 years ago, we were
but
brought to.
but that's also, and I hate to cut you off, God, but that's exactly like in this area too. That's why this sheriff. I don't know. You probably watched? Did you watch the video?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, all right, cool. Okay, yeah, because like in the Midwest, yeah, same thing, same thing. That
But
shit
yeah,
crazy.
Maki said something real though, and we don't
Mm,
never realize it. We don't. I keep telling us we don't accept reality good. Well, you feel me?
right.
Like, bro, people are really living what they've been influenced from movies and music
Yep.
in real life. We shoot each other because the music portrays it, but they carry out horror flick plots in real life and live up under it. Of course, what do you think they get the information for the horror flicks from? See, real life. Do art imitate life or do life imitate art?
Facts.
Peace,
Facts.
peace, Mecca.
Peace, Mr. Mecca.
Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run this video back for everybody coming in. Mac, I'm gonna run this video back. Everybody, salute everybody coming in, all the kings on the panel. There's a great bill starting off. Yes, man, this is a trend, guys. It's a trend. Like I said, you gotta understand. We gotta get this out to everybody, man. Y'all post this on y'all Facebook. Tell everybody, man, that what's going on, whether it's just in general. You know what I'm saying? Make it a topic instead of other shit.
Salute to
You
Josh.
know, you
Salute
know
to
what I'm
Matt.
talking about, Cross.
Fact.
Genesee County tonight, where a man is in custody accused of kidnapping, sexual assault, and a host of other felonies, including threatening to kill his alleged victim with his teeth that he'd filed into points like something out of a horror movie. Mara McDonald live tonight. Mara, the sheriff showed where he was being held.
Well, where she was being held, Evan, and yes, it is, the details of this are just so awful. This woman being held in what was or is essentially a flop house in a filthy room, bound to a mattress and a bed, in a door that was locked and windows that were actually screwed shut. Let me show you.
These are the kinds of things that happen in Genesee County. They happen in Flint. They happen in Michigan. They happen around the country. People that have teeth, that are filed down to points, that are threatening to rip out the throat of victims.
Genesee County Sheriff Chris Swanson going public with the case of 36-year-old Michael Barajas, who detectives say groomed and ultimately kidnapped a 20-year-old woman, holding her against her will, where she was raped by multiple men.
She not only tried to escape once, not only just twice. It took 3 times for her to try to escape.
Swanson says he screwed the windows shut and had locks on the doors. Barajas allegedly telling her he'd rip her throat out with his teeth, that he'd filed into points if she tried to run again. She was ultimately rescued when she ended up in Hurley Hospital because of a medical emergency related to a pregnancy.
We are still actively looking into this case. We know that this guy with those teeth and that guy that matches the description that's under arrest, there's more out there.
Back here live, the sheriff says while they have Barajas in custody, they are still looking for the men who sexually assaulted this woman repeatedly. We're live downtown tonight. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
Horrendous case. All right, Mara.
Yeah,
Bro, that's
wow.
that ass checking bullshit.
Yeah, yo,
Word up.
and what I get from this is something I want to point out, and I want to hear what you guys think. I think the luxury of convenience has made it easier for these people to thrive in their own ecosystem. Because think about it, it would be really hard for individuals like that to hide in the shadows back then, because they had to, like I said, they either had to use someone to gather the resources, or they had to go gather themselves. Now you can get groceries, you can get food, you can get toiletries by the push of a button on the phone. So these people don't even have to go anywhere. They can sit around and all they have to do is go out and get their people, because everything else, they don't have to function in society. They don't raise
Big,
eyebrows
big
because you
point
don't never
right there.
see them. They're in the shadows like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Right.
And the thing to me it's just right here. This is why everybody, man, you guys should be trying to pursue your passions and do all this stuff, because you do that all with a level of fear, but the level of fear and endangerment that this lady had, and she still found a way to escape. A lot of people don't even find a way to escape their bed, but she found a
Yeah.
way to escape this bed that a whole new level of horror surrounded around it, man. People just don't understand why they should be grateful for real. I mean, aspire
Yeah.
to get more, but look at what she was in, and she found a way out.
Yeah.
Y'all,
Crazy,
So
re-
it's,
man.
y'all remember the movie
Great
Misery?
point, Marky.
yeah.
You remember the movie Misery?
Yes. One of the
What was
favorite. Yeah.
what's misery about?
Yeah, or the Hill Have
Ah,
Eyes.
you gotta go see that. That's
Yeah, or the Hill Have Eyes. See,
Oh,
Misery was this situation in reverse. A woman coaxed a man that she was a fan of as an Arthur, and she got him in her house, tied him up, and wanted him to submit, and he wouldn't, of course. Then she began to torture him. This
Oh yeah. She
mentality,
broke her ankles.
yeah,
Broke his
yeah,
ankles. So,
she was torturing him, everything. but you gotta look at the mentality that bred. You understand? We're talking about a 30-year history from that movie, and then that movie was based on prior culture, all the way going back to Norman Bates with the Bates Motel, Psycho. See, you get somebody,
yep,
isolate
American
them.
Psycho.
Yeah, you isolate them, you kidnap them, because that's unlawful detainment. That's what kidnapping is. Every time you do something like that, they give you that charge. So those people are influenced by something that comes from a culture, a subculture of our national culture. And horror films is an actual genre, culture, and cult in America.
that's true. A lot of people don't look at it like that, but you're right. It is an actual genre. It can go as extreme as you want to, and
Now,
so
like in any genre.
Cross. When was she kidnapped? When was she? What time of the day was she kidnapped? Is what I'm wondering.
See, and that's what I was trying to find out. But like you even said though, Maki, what happens is, well, when we say back then, it wouldn't have been acceptable. But nowadays, that's okay to have all those tattoos. That's okay to have the big gauges in your ear. It's okay, because other than that, they'll use that's discriminatory, right? So I think that it could have been like a person like that could have been hanging out at the tattoo parlors, or it's something that somebody coerced her, because I don't think, and
but
maybe
he
she
groomed
probably
her.
wanted, she might
He
have wanted to
groomed her.
come over to his house or something and didn't know he was crazy. Like I said, it's hard to determine when you see. That's why we've been saying for a long time, In our old days, and like say back in the days, if you saw somebody looking like that, you would be hesitant. But nowadays, kids or other individuals want to look like that. You know, when the whole tattoo, think about when the tattoos came out, when people start putting on their face. Next thing you know, everybody got a whole bunch of damn tattoos covering their face. But we all know that was jail shit. You know, the pants sagging is jail shit. All that shit is just taking something from what was institutionalized and throwing them back out here, and people adopting that dumb shit.
And it's crazy because the other day, Cross, you said, "Man, I had to connect. You gotta connect me to the youth and maybe understand them because the way that we look at y'all dress weird. It's like, okay, trying different things is one thing, but like doing these weird monster looking trends, you have to have parents that tell you, man, you look like a fool. Because if you have parents that just let it go by and let it go
And
by
all
the
them lip
wayside, man,
piercings,
they
them
ain't let
eye
the reality
piercings,
hit you.
Salute
bunch
Miss
of weird
Hartfield.
piercings and shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I done seen people in LA as a standard, man. You guys might
Right.
not know, but like when it comes to
Salute
the
Danny Pooh.
industry, the rappers and stuff like that, I done been around certain environments where if you don't got a certain face tattoo and a certain aesthetic to you, boy, you shouldn't even be in the room because you don't fit the aesthetic because it's been seen to be made
Right.
cool to be looking like a demon.
But see, that's the point, and that's the point of that we're speaking
but
of.
look at that little
When,
dude, Trippy
when you
Red. He looks like a damn ghoul, yo.
when you
You know
have
what I mean?
when you have the dude like my man, Mr. Rojas. Mr. Rojas is from that Mexican background. Remember, in the Mexican culture, I'm not sure if it's still law, but at one time it was law for you to get married at 14. So
Right.
he's 36 grooming this now 20-year-old young woman that when he probably first interacted with her, she was 13. See, what he did was he befriended her and groomed her to a certain point to where he felt as though it was viable for him to get her and then do unto her what he was doing. And you remember, it was other
Mm.
people involved. So these are gang rapes. So this is an actual lifestyle
Gang.
that people are living.
Right. It's actual. That's what, and that's why I'm saying. That's why that sheriff he's basically putting out an APB bulletin to let people know. But the traction, they ain't even getting no traction. So because I saw it last night, it was like I saw it about 11 o'clock, and it came out, and I was like, wait a minute. One, why did it come out so late? Two, why in the hell nobody talking about? Now you telling me it's a cult of people around here eating motherfuckers and raping them and having
Hey,
the
Cross.
babies. We don't know
Hey,
what they're
Cross.
doing with the babies.
The reason people didn't say nothing in blind sight, like Mackie was speaking on earlier, was because in the Hispanic or the Mexican culture, it's not abnormal for a 14-year-old girl to be running around with a 20-some-year-old man.
Right. I
That's my
understand it, but I'm
point.
talking.
So he get away with that. He get away
Right.
with that. You feel me?
That's true. That's
And then,
true, Ja.
and then when you're from the
That's
Mexican
facts.
heritage, the Aztecian culture, the
Yes,
history, the
that's true.
heritage,
Yeah,
you,
that is
you
true. Yeah.
apply that. That's where the tattoo activity initially came from.
Yep. I
But
know. I
but
know.
we remember when we got the different fusion of cultures, then you had the Hell's Angel type activity along with the Mexican type activity. You have two cultures fused, so people are now being gothic and being historical. And when you blend that, you get this a vampirism type mentality. He got a he practiced vampirism.
Yep.
Nigga got all his teeth made into incisors. That's stupid. But it's what
I
they
said
do.
it before and I'll say it again. While we brush our teeth in the morning, some people are sharpening theirs. You know what I'm saying? So
Hey man,
you gotta, you
I just held a class
gotta be
on
smart.
hygiene
Right.
versus and culture, black and white in America. They had a study on 60 Minutes, and so I had it in the class, and we discovered that in our household, we're made it's mandatory. You better shower and wash your behind every day, or sometimes twice a day.
That's
In
right.
some people households and cultures, they believe once or twice a week is okay, as long as they don't have a stench. See? So it's
No, that's
different.
right.
And it's right here, 2022. And I'm talking about high profile so-called celebrities have this mentality because it's culture. And just because we don't live it,
That's that barbarian shit. You
yeah,
know what it is.
don't mean we own it. Well, we're not from that though. We're not from that.
Exactly.
And that's my point. But we can adopt it just by being
Yep.
around it.
Right.
See? Just
That's
by being
right.
exposed to it. And that's what those movies do, bro. Movies are
That's right.
moving pictures, and a picture is worth 1,000 words. So you have a picture moving at 10,000 times per second. How many words is the brain comprehending if one picture, one frame is worth 1,000 words?
That's some real shit.
Well, we went into Europe and civilized their ass. They didn't know what to do, man. They're throwing shit out the window and all that. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Come on.
Nah, that's real. So for everybody coming in, we're gonna run it back one more time. For everybody coming in, thank y'all for coming in, tapping in. Miss Hartfield, I'm gonna run it back so you can check it out. Like I said again, for everybody, hit that like button, share it, subscribe, post it, whatever you got to do.
Genesee County tonight, where a man is in custody accused of kidnapping, sexual assault, and a host of other felonies, including threatening to kill his alleged victim with his teeth that he'd filed into points like something out of a horror movie. Mara McDonald live tonight. Mara, the sheriff showed where he was being held.
Well, where she was being held, Evan, and yes, it is, the details of this are just so awful. This woman was being held in what was or is essentially a flop house in a filthy room, bound to a mattress and a bed, in a door that was locked and windows that were actually screwed shut. Let me show you.
These are the kinds of things that happen in Genesee County. They happen in Flint. They happen in Michigan. They happen around the country. People that have teeth, that are filed down to points, that are threatening to rip out the throat of victims.
Genesee County Sheriff Chris Swanson going public with the case of 36-year-old Michael Barajas, who detectives say groomed and ultimately kidnapped a 20-year-old woman, holding her against her will, where she was raped by multiple men.
She not only tried to escape once, not only just twice, it took 3 times for her to try to escape.
Swanson says he screwed the windows shut and had locks on the doors. Barajas allegedly telling her he'd rip her throat out with his teeth, that he'd filed into points if she tried to run again. She was ultimately rescued when she ended up in Hurley Hospital because of a medical emergency related to a pregnancy.
We are still actively looking into this case. We know that this guy with those teeth and that guy that matches the description that's under arrest, there's more out there.
Back here live, the sheriff says while they have Barajas in custody, they are still looking for the men who sexually assaulted this woman repeatedly. We're live downtown tonight. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
Horrendous case. All right, Mara.
That shit crazy, dog.
That's America.
Yep. At its finest. It's coming back to the to this so like you said, the savage way, and it's like almost like a purge / zombie land / apocalypse.
All the truth is in the movies, man. We just gotta watch the movies, yo.
Yeah.
The news is the lies. The movies is the truth, bro. That's why they did this whole purge thing for real,
Man, real talk. We got to be more on point. That's the factor.
Yeah.
On the real, but also we got to recognize what's in our understanding and what's not. Like culture is big, bro. How you live, where you live at, and what you doing where you living at, bro.
Yeah.
Culture is big, bro. So if you don't understand it, then it's weird to you. Just like they look at us as being straight weird. They can't they don't got an inkling in the mind of how we are or what we are. They look at us being weird because they've been influenced. So
that's why we can't be so hard on each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, this organization is better than the next. Like, yo, Mr. Farrakhan didn't do half of what these motherfuckers did, but we steady condemning Mr. Farrakhan.
Well, I mean, that's the ignorance of our people.
Malcolm X. We're condemning Martin Luther King. Like, yo, we gotta get off that, man.
Salute
y'all striving for the same shit. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day.
Hey, Matt, you saying it, but there's people in that community that are unapologetically vampires, unapologetically rapists,
Yes.
Word up, they're what they call in America a cult.
Well, they need to get sought out and put down, dog. Simple as
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Like, yo,
But you know,
that's a
but
fact.
you
But
say this needs to happen. But if you don't know who the enemy is, you can't
that's
attack
it.
nobody. And when you said Gotham City, Big Mac, that is facts because Gotham City entails of criminals everywhere, but you can't tell it's criminals
Everywhere.
because everything goes. When everything goes, there's no sense of like you say, barbarism. If you go on TikTok and you go to the Explorer, you will find people that are live. Some people are doing tarot card readings. Some people are on there saying they're vampires dressed up, looking like
Mm,
Panic at the
Yep,
Disco.
got it.
I just seen it myself, and they sit there.
mm.
So when there is no wrong and everything is right, this is what you get. And you can't when you can't lock onto your enemy, you can't attack nobody.
But that's the point. Once you commit that act, those like you and associated to you are under the same suspicion now.
yeah, but
But
Just
at the
niggas could
same
go.
time, Ja,
just just
what if the people like him? What if they don't even look like him? How will you know? Like I said,
what
there
Right.
might be someone that looks completely innocent, but at
what
the same time,
that's why I said once you
oh, okay.
catch him. This is an example.
Mhm.
In America, if you see a black youth on any corner or near the corner, standing on the corner for approximately 2 minutes, it's automatically assumed that he's doing an act of crime. And that's just in your basic functionality in the city life. I'll say city life because it's
Right.
different in
City
other
life.
places. But in
Yeah.
the city life, if you just stand still for 2 minutes, you are assumed by black, white, Latino, and everything in between that you are committing a crime or in the process of planning to commit a crime. So when you look at those people, you know damn well those people are different to extreme of dangerous because none of those little black youth on the corners that might be on a cell phone, that might be hollering at a girl, talking to his boy from school, discussing the football game, they haven't altered their body cosmetically to become a weapon of extreme force.
Well,
And you
no, you
fight
can't say,
somebody for
but
his
you
life.
can't, you can't say that in that way, Job, because again, we talked about the rappers. The rappers, if Nee walked in, he got all these tattoos on his face, and then
What everybody think about him right away.
no,
And
listen,
how do
no,
we treat
listen,
him?
hold on. I just listen, but what I'm saying is, it was on one of those things. It's a rapper, like I never heard of him, right? But he a big name rapper. I'm telling you, it's not. Again, it's easy to say that back then because then we could say this was the thing. Nowadays, there are young black kids. Okay, what about when you see a young black dude? They got a merce around his shoulder, but then he got green hair, he got Jordans on, and then he might have a big chain on. You don't know if either he goes this way, that way. He could, we don't know if he altered. We only see what our eyes won't get past. That's why I said when we bring, different people on here, like Maki, that's why Maki can sit there and say, he's telling you there's black kids nowadays that go to tarot card readings on TikTok. That's why they really honestly trying to ban TikTok. That was that whole big thing where they're trying to get rid of it because they allow anything on there. It's a no holds barred thing. And he said, like he said before, kids get bored. If they're not on YouTube, he said they're on the social media platforms. They're on the TikToks. They're on places that we are not going. We're not going to go there. Like my daughter, when I saw the people that she had on there, like she tried to get on, what is that shit she got on? I think it was TikTok. She tried to get on TikTok, and my 11-year-old daughter, man, within a minute, she had about 300-400 people trying to follow her, and it was some weird people. I made her get off. I stood over there. Most parents don't know that on TikTok. Like, I mean, it's some wild shit. But then when I go to the schools, I'm in with a bunch of 11 and 13-year-olds. Imagine a plethora, like I said, a mixture of different ethnic groups. I'm in the lunchroom watching, and about 80% of them are on TikTok. 80%. I'm telling you, I'm watching and I see black kids that I would look at them and be like, man, why, bro, why you dressed like that? But
And if
I
you
can't
looked at
say
me,
that no more now.
if you looked
Why
at
do
me,
we
you could
look at
generalize
our
Hold on,
me.
hold
children?
on. Hold on, Johnny. You don't mind, pardon. What do you say,
if
Mike?
if you if you looked at me without ever hearing me speak, if you automatically put me in a certain category, you see that's part of the problem. Because like I
Keep it
said,
real.
there
Keep it
is
real.
one of my friends who passed away in 2018, XXX Tentacion, good friend of mine. If you just looked at him
Oh,
and you just looked
okay.
at the controversy surrounding his name, you would
Right.
automatically assume he's this and that. But he was actually doing a lot for the youth. He had face tats, he had dreads. So that's what I'm saying. There are outliers within these groups. That's why it makes it hard to say this person's that. Like you said, if you see someone sitting around watching somebody, I previously said that if I see a lady by herself, I'm not staring at her because I'm weird. I'm
You
not
might
hollering
want
at
to
her.
help.
I'm making sure she gets to her car and drives away because she's
Yo,
putting down
Maki.
groceries. I be seeing ladies walk out the store with a full cart of groceries by themselves, and I'm not gonna walk up to them and ask them, "Can I help you?" Because now they're gonna look at me weird. But I'm gonna watch
Exactly.
them. I'm gonna watch them just to make sure they're okay. And that's why I was telling you it's hard to attack the enemy when we live in a society where everything goes now. So you won't know who's the enemy because if you try to generalize someone, people have pronouns now. So if you generalize somebody based off what they look or what they identify as, it could be you could be made the enemy now just because you're calling them what they are. But
Yo,
it's not
Maki.
what they are anymore because it's not who they are. That's just what they look like in face value. So it's
Yeah.
hard, man. It's hard. I try
In
not
the
to judge all the
seventies, in the
time based off
seventies in
that.
Jamaica, they were killing the Rastas with the dreads, because they had a
See,
Rasta rally. You know what I'm saying?
Mr. Smith,
So just
salute
because they
Mr.
had the
Smith.
dreads, they were killing them off.
And Cross was talking about TikTok. On TikTok, there's certain creators that in their cities they'll say, "Here, go to this spot. I'll leave $20 here." And if you see somebody that looks harmless, looks like Mr. Beast, and he tells you go there and you'll get $100, just take a picture. These kids, they'll get out of school, and instead of getting on the bus, they'll try to go to that spot just because they saw someone on TikTok. And next thing
Yeah,
you
but
know,
did
they
you hear
in
what I
jail.
said though? In the '70s in Jamaica, they tried to kill Rastas for wearing dreads, bro. So the
What? Just
stigma,
any wait. So any roster that had dreads, they just
yeah, man, in the
No,
'70s,
it,
because
it,
they
it
had
was
a Rasta rally, you know.
it was bigger than that, Matt. It was
Yeah, it was
bigger
wow.
way
than that.
bigger than that.
Now I got some
Yeah.
studying to
It
do.
was an actual war in the country
Exactly. You could speak
between
on it,
between the
yeah.
Rastafarian culture and the present government in Jamaica. There's two factions, just like in America, you got Democrat and Republican. There's two factions, and those two factions went to war. One of those factions went to war with the Rastafarian culture because they refused to live up under the laws that they were trying to create. I wanted to share with Maxie that there has to come a point in time amongst everyone in America where you take a stand against the liberal mindset of anything goes, or you stand with some of the conservative values that there's nothing new under the sun, and evil done before shall be done again. So we living in a world where they have trained people not to say anything. So when I see a 13-year-old girl being entertained by a 20-some damn near 30-year-old man, Jakim, around here, they know he gonna say something at the very least, if not do something. That's just the way I am. I've been bred that way. But what we have to have is a responsibility throughout America, in every community, to stand against that which is wicked and stand for that which is good.
Yeah. What about them arranged marriages and all that, Joe? You know what I'm saying? There's a
Well,
lot
well,
of bullshit in people's cultures too.
hey, listen, the first thing we got to do is identify, and those people know who they are. If we know who we are, we instantly stand apart. If you are alike, you can recognize me. Game recognize game. Truth recognize truth. But if you live in a lie, we can see your lie if we're standing in truth. So people that do wrong, you'll see them and they'll expose themselves, as every criminal know, especially the ones that got caught.
Man, I just I
Yeah, it's
I
deep. It's
feel like
deep.
that is that is like the it's true for most scenarios, but man, some people are so good at playing this game.
Exactly, which is why
Right.
we have to stop playing the game. A man cannot dress up as a
Thank you.
woman and walk into my child's kindergarten class and begin a book club in front of my 5-year-old boy. See, that should be prohibited in every sense of the word. However, We live in a country where we've been duped, tricked, fooled, and engineered socially into accepting it as if we had nothing to do with it. Yet the laws change every
Right,
day.
but that again, remember that somebody walking in the room, but we're talking about. We got to go back to what the content was. Is
Right.
a
A
video
13-year-old girl walking down the street with
no,
a
no,
30-year-old man. That's how
no,
you
no,
move
no,
it.
no, no. What I'm saying is the appearance of how this guy looks versus you see that nowadays. What I'm saying is, if you go to the West Coast, I know personally in Washington that there's white dudes and all them. They got the big hanging earrings. They
Yep.
them tattoos. They tattooed
Yep.
all over their neck. They tattooed all over their face. So if they tattooed all their neck and tattoo all their face, if you were to say if everybody with tattoos on their face could be considered a criminal, then we have to talk about all the rappers. But we can't say all the rappers. But then,
But all the rappers are assumed to be what? Come on, say it with me.
yeah, I understand criminals, but
Say it with me. Say it with me.
no, what
Say
I'm
it with me.
saying is, in my eyes, you got to remember now, I can only tell you through my eyes. I
Yeah,
would
taboo. Yeah, I know
I
what you mean,
wouldn't
Cross.
consider them now. I can't consider them that because if that's the case, then we allow, if we go in the industry, if we say, okay, in the industry, for example, if we know that they're considered criminals, why would we put ourselves or our kids or anybody that's around us to even be a part of that period, whether it's listening to it or not? If we don't want to be, that's what I'm saying. You can't say that part because you're playing a part regardless. So you can take one situation out of it, but then you still got this. So you can't take one without the other. It's either all or nothing, right?
I got
It's
a
either
question. I got a question to all of the black men on the panel,
right.
and even in the chat. When you're in the presence thereof, let's say driving, and there's a police officer behind you, do you have this involuntary sensory of danger and a threat?
No,
I would say
I'm just
I
I
would
don't.
say I would say I don't have a sense of a threat, but my I just make sure that I'm on point. That's all it is. But that's because
that's what I'm
but let me
asking.
tell you why
That's the
though.
same thing.
That
That's the same thing I'm saying. I'm
but
just
the
asking a
difference
question from
though,
black men
but
because I
you
want us
that's
to be
kind of
honest.
comparing apples to oranges though, because we know what the police stand for. You can't
Ho-
say you see a
That's
person with
my
face
point.
tattoos and know what they stand for.
Hold on. Watch this. Watch this. This is my point. When you're in the gang culture, right?
Yeah.
These days, nowadays, there's a tattoo given to you often to show unity amongst the collective. When I
Mm-hmm.
was in the street, I came from a different environment, different culture. When I
But
was in the
John,
street,
listen, before you
Nah.
go
let
further,
me land my plan. Let me land my
listen,
plan.
you got to remember the reason why the whole YSL thing is under arrest. I mean, they got supposedly, allegedly, was started off with a chain. Not all of them had tattoos to represent it. It was the chain. That's what I'm saying.
It still was
Nowadays,
a label
it
that
doesn't matter.
makes
No, that is
an
considered a
icon.
label. But what I'm telling you is, when you saying it that way, what it is in through the eyes of how you're looking at it. Because I'm telling you again, Mikey is telling us that's what we got to stop back and we got to listen through the eyes of through them. They are the new way, but we have to show them. Okay, well, we understand where you're coming from.
We have to guide them. We have to guide them.
Right,
Cross.
but what we got to guide them coming straight out by listening first. We don't know. We can't just tell. Like when I've learned one thing about it, just like I said, being around them kids. When I go to start, if you come off at them, they already have this wall up because he just told you. If you saw him, I'm telling you, if like everybody that saw him, or if you go to his page, you would assume, oh man,
But that's not true though, Cross.
it is true because he just told you that.
Hold on.
I'm telling you, bro. Like,
Listen,
Carefully.
hold on, wait a
Carefully.
minute, John. Listen,
I just
John.
want to
Listen,
rebut. I was rebutting to him. Pardon me. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I know that, but what I'm trying to tell you is, if that's like if you told me you went through something, I can only go by what you went through. I'm telling you, this man right here goes through this all the time. That's why he said, I get to the point where I look like I'm being targeted. Just the way he dressed. He might have on a fur. He might decide to put on, he wanted to probably dress like he in his picture with his he's like, he even said it. He said, man, hey, I like the way this look. I like this. I don't care what nobody else think. So if we come to him and say, hey, what up? Shout out with you, Jay. You know what I'm saying? So,
for
Well,
example,
you see, the thing about it is the dreadlocks was a Rasta thing at first, you know,
no, but it's not. It's
and
not
then it
just the
turned into a
dreads.
thing,
It's
bro.
not just the dreads though. Like if you see me and you see me walking around, and I got it. Where my camera at? I got it. If you see me walking around, right, and I got this on, you gonna automatically assume that I'm emo or
Found
severe
it
or
too,
something
you
like
know.
that. Just because you see that I got that on, and just that's why I've had to
right.
become an extrovert. I'm an introvert, but I've had to transition to an extrovert just so that people don't have the wrong impression. Because every time you see me, you automatically think that I'm quiet. I don't want to talk to nobody, and I hate the world. No, that's not how it is. But because people want a profile, that's what it's become. But it's dangerous to do that because we live in a world where sometimes the normal people will be looking like the most craziest people, and the crazy people will be looking like the most
That's a
normal
fact.
people.
That's like in his situation. He might be wearing that chain. He'll wear the chain and not wear a shirt. He might walk around with no shirt. You see him standing outside, like, why he don't got a shirt on? He looking at you, is why you looking at me because I ain't got my shirt on. That's the way he look at it. So I get it now. That's what I'm trying to tell you. A lot of times we just have to look at it, but then, like he said, that's why he's on here, because he's looking for the guidance. But what happens is if we come straight full blown, he's gonna be turned off because he hears that every day.
And the way I see
See?
it, it's like you guys try to lay. I come home and I tell my parents, or I tell you guys, hey, there's a boogeyman under my bed. You tell me, man, there ain't no boogeyman under my bed. Just think this, just think that. But there's a disconnect because you guys are going off of history from before. I'm telling you what it is right now because I'm out here every single day and I'm connected to the TikTok. You guys avoid it. You guys can easily avoid it because you didn't grow up with it. I grew up with technology in my hand from a very young age. I knew about all these social media. So
Facts.
it's a part of us. It's a part of us.
Remember, Jai, you said your famous words. You said, we are no longer the parents, we're the breeders. You said that. You said the cell phone, the social media is the parent. That's what he's telling you. My parents is telling us this.
So,
Not
so
what
cross,
you're
so
telling
cross.
us.
Where's your responsibility as a man over your children in guidance?
Yeah, but what I'm saying,
That's a
not
question,
all
my brother.
hands, and
That's
you
a
don't
question.
know, but
You just
Jai,
educate me. That's a question.
as me as a parent, right? I'm a parent. My guidance is within me raising, doing that. But then everybody's scenario, like if you knew his, if you knew his background, maybe he didn't have no parents.
Cross. I just want to say something clearly.
Generational
I have
divide,
I have
definitely.
never given any word, any mention of critique of Maki. I am connected to children every day. You
Well, I
understand?
know that.
I teach children every day. So I'm connected to the mentality, the psychology, and the sociology
Right.
of our children.
The
However,
only issue with it is kids aren't going to tell you they're not going to tell the elders what's really going on, but they'll tell me
well,
what's
the
going on.
kids first have to trust the elders based on the history of of
The, the
competency
the
that
key
an
word was
elder
kids
gives
though.
them.
The key
It
word was kids. Think about it.
right
We all as kids we look at our elders like they don't understand us. We listen to people that we relate to.
Well,
We can't
why
relate.
though?
unless your elder is wise enough to
I don't like
implement
that
the
talk.
competency of trust. See,
I don't like how that.
at some point, our youth have to realize where they're getting their information and influence from.
But
Now,
how do you think? How do you? That's like saying we gotta. Okay, but that sounds right. That sounds like what we need to do. But what it sounds like is you want to rewind a movie that's already fast forward. We can't. We can't. That we're not past that point. We have to adjust and acclimate to what it is because it's only going to get more advanced and it's only going to get more technological.
I have a
We
question. I
can't
have a
refresh
question. Then, who's making it the way it is?
society.
Who?
The people, I mean, the people that make these advancements, that's what it's becoming. It's becoming no choice.
Right,
That's what it
right,
is. I
right.
mean,
So,
look at
so
the
you're
merchant,
telling me that
look at the merchant
someone
man.
else is controlling how we live and what we do.
Yeah, yeah, the people, the
That,
content
that's what I was
creators,
telling Cross, my brother. See, together we
but
can
it's,
get
it's not
something.
just one person though.
But together
Yeah, yeah.
we can get an
Both say-
understanding of that thing, which is
yeah.
the system in which we live, which is what I was explaining to my brother Cross. As parents, we're responsible to correct the flaws that our children may follow that we have already committed. And that is being under someone else's influence and control in how we culturally live. And it's I understand, but that's why I asked the question. If
I
if
just
we
I
if
just
we if
remember what
we
it was like, man. Like if you got your parents telling you this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, and then
right,
you're the one that is moving around, like you're moving around a little bit. It seems like you're a little too mature for the school. Then you go to school and you get clowned on because everybody else is doing it, and you sitting
right.
around saying, "I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this." Then eventually you get curious, and you've been told it's so bad for so long that eventually you try it because you just get tired of being forced to not try
But
stuff. So if you see everything and you get to
mhm.
know people for who they are before you say, "Hey, they got a face tattoo. They're terrible." Because I'm gonna be real with you. I give everybody a conversation before, but if I just saw someone and said, "Oh no, man," then that would be a problem because it's just dangerous. It's just dangerous to profile people.
Then Maki, I got a question. If you was in the same store with Mr. Rojas and you seen Mr. Rojas' teeth, would you look at him as a normal person?
I would say to each their own and go about my business.
That's the
Right.
problem in our society. We make victims of the innocent by saying to each his own.
But
Also, Mark
Rapper Riff Raff has teeth like that. We didn't say he was a
introduces you
vampire.
before you even speak. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Sorry,
They-
sorry.
they- right. If I walk around in a clown outfit, do I expect to get respect from people?
Well, yeah.
I don't. But you
If
can
I
say
walk
that on
around
the
in a
internet.
clown outfit
You can
as a
say that on
black
the
man in
internet, though.
America, bro, tell the truth.
But
With
The
that's
red
Riff
being.
is
nose,
releasing a.
big
But
shoes all day, and you see me, what I
we
get
ain't talking.
respect.
Okay. So you saying you didn't like Homie the Clown?
Nope.
Plug.
Nope,
Man,
nope. I don't like no clown. I'm a man, and
But
just like
I
Jeremy.
understand it. But the
Hold on, what
character.
about Jeremy? What about
But
Jeremy? Our boy Jeremy. See, what Jeremy was running around dressed like a cop, right? See, in his brain, he thought he was what, a cop, right? Until reality bit.
For real
And
though.
people let him keep doing it. His brother, all everybody in his family, everybody. See, he kept doing it. But what happened to Jeremy?
but
Dressed
I
like a
think we
cop,
have to
nobody doing
abandon
nothing
that
about
way
it.
of thinking because it sounds really good,
It's
but you
just
have.
reality. It's just
But
reality.
I'm telling you, when I travel all the time, I go around and I have to acclimate myself to these environments. Because when you go to the beach, that's all the individuals you're seeing now. When you go down Hollywood Boulevard, you're seeing people like that. You can't just say, oh man, no, no. You have to acclimate. Obviously,
How
Mm-hmm.
would you look wearing a jean suit in the going in the beach?
man, I wore a
Hey,
fur coat on Miami Beach, and I had ladies
hey,
come to me.
yeah, that's what I'm trying to
let
tell
me
you.
say
How
Was
something.
would
for
you
Let me
the
look?
say
How
coat.
would
something.
you look? We all in the ocean swimming. We got swimming trunks on, but you got a
Oh
Hey,
jean.
John,
man.
let me say something,
In
John.
my head, I'm gonna think, but I'm not gonna go up to you and say, oh no, you this, you that.
No, 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 no. You're gonna say what everyone else
You
is gonna say.
freaking
Yo,
we
what's
can
wrong
see
with my
through
man
it
with
a
the
little
jean
bit.
suit on in the ocean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't do
Let's
that.
be
Come
real,
on.
bro. It's real.
Hey, peep game, peep game, peep game. Hey, John, this is what he said. See, look, this when we talk about the generational gap. Like, what he telling you is, I get what he's saying, because how he got looked at is how I got looked at back in the day when I started getting tattoos at 15, 16 years old. I was
Right.
already labeled. I was already labeled coming into the school, coming in, and I never got a tattoo because the gang. That is never a rite of passage. That is a myth.
See,
What
It
right.
what
might
what
be.
what what,
That
what
is a myth. But what
around
I'm
here?
saying is, I was judged, and parenting had nothing to do with that because my parents can't stop what they can't see. So
Do you think
when
it's
I'm
you were
when,
judged because of your tattoos or because you're a nigga? You know what I'm saying? Think about that. You know what I'm saying?
that's
Tattoos
exactly
come from
what it was. That's what I
No,
wanted. But
Yeah,
no.
it's
around
just
here
like
Any kid,
like
tattoos
any
is
kid's
owner
gonna be
is,
judged
is
for having tattoos. It's not just
no,
about
no, no,
beauty.
no.
no,
I said certain places. I'm gonna say that specifically because we live in different places. Certain places, like in Jersey and New York City, the Bloods and Crips have certain tattoos that represent their set and who they belong to. Now that's factual. You can find it on
yeah,
YouTube.
but
But
that's the
answer this
culture
question:
thing.
At any moment.
Is that the tattoos that you're seeing these individuals with? Let's be
No,
honest.
no, no.
No. You see,
Hold on. My man with the tap, Mr. Rojas, he got something on that's next level that the Bloods and the Crips call weird. You know why? Because it's not of their culture. And when you see that, you can't judge him on that. You judge him on the 13-year-old girl that he was with as a 30-year-old man, which is why we segued off into something different and deflected the narrative. That's my point. When you see that guy with that 13-year-old girl, that's when you deal with him instead of the 36-year-old man that's been gang raping a 20-year-old woman.
But no one saw that guy with that girl. She was kidnapped. You
No, no,
saying
no, no,
that?
no, no, no. The news says she was groomed by him.
Yeah, she was kidnapped and groomed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like she
So
was, they were just walking around down the beach, and you see it. Now that's what. See, what you're trying to talk about is a completely different conversation. If I see a kid,
I'm speaking on Mr. Rojas in the Mexican culture, bro. Marrying
Yo,
teenage
you
women. It's
those two
normal to see. It's normal to see that from them, but it's not to us. So we're speaking here from our perception and reality based upon what we know. So in my world, when I see that dude with her, I got a problem with it. And in my world, I do something real about it. Like I said, I may be weird to others who don't have that type of testicular
yeah, but
fortitude.
that's what also makes you blind
that's
though,
not
because someone that could have no face
right, exactly.
tattoos, because someone that could walk around looking normal could be doing the same thing, but just because you don't see something on their face, now you don't know their enemy. That's why I say
Maki,
you
I'm
can't
not
attack
attacking
the kid.
anyone's style,
No,
Maki.
no, no. I'm not saying you're attacking, but what you just
Right,
said is you would only be alarmed if you saw this type of individual with the kid. If it was the
right. And
regular
I would
person,
ask a question. I would ask a question. That's all.
yeah.
But Josh, so
Okay.
what he's saying is what I was saying. Just put me, let's go back a few generations. Let's say I got all these tattoos and I'm walking with a little kid. Maybe that little kid my niece or something.
Yeah.
And somebody thinking how you thinking want to come over there and test me. Now you'd have got shot. I mean,
If that would have
right
been
now.
if that would have been the consequence for my inquiry of protection in my community, that's what
But you
it is.
can't always judge the book by its cover, though.
No,
That's
but
all
listen,
I'm trying to say.
listen what I'm saying. Listen what I'm saying. Listen what I'm saying.
So
So,
because yo,
so it's no different now, right, than what it was then. These same activities in our communities been happening then. Someone has tricked us into believing that because we have a new generation, that things have changed when we're not the people changing it. We can admit that we're not the people changing it. However, things have changed. Something's wrong with that. And
and you
what
could
I'm
tell
saying is this.
you could tell
I'm just
something's
saying is
wrong,
this.
right?
I want
There's
our youth to
something
realize
gonna
there's no indifference. There's no generational no gap when we just deal with proper dialogue and acceptance of truth within ourselves instead of that which we've been influenced outside of ourselves. And that's where our information predominantly come from.
And I'm gonna be
So
honest, this is the first time that, and I'm gonna let you stand on what you stand on. I'm gonna stand on. I respectfully agree to disagree, just because I
true.
think there is a gap within our generations. I really do. I don't think that. I don't. How I'm able to talk to you guys, man. This does not just happen in my community. You don't see the older
Right.
people, older black people coming up to me and giving me game. They just look at people
Word.
a certain type of way.
See,
Yeah,
No,
that's
they
it ain't
don't.
like that.
that's what we
yo,
fail at, Maki.
let me
That's
explain
what we
something. Can
missing
I
out.
explain something real quick?
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go
Every
ahead, Mac.
every generation there's gonna be the youth that rebel against what's going on in the norm, you know, the status quo. So for what you're saying that yo, the generation before you don't really accept what y'all going through, we went through it too, like Stone was saying, you know what I'm saying? So it's like it's always gonna be a trickle down effect, but we have to also acknowledge the fact that how we perceive ourselves to the world is how they're gonna look at us, good or
Right.
bad, right or wrong. You know what I'm saying? And we gotta really present ourselves like, yo, we're really about business and we're
Nah,
serious.
Mikey,
You know what I mean?
Mac, listen.
That's what I'm saying.
I get all that. That ain't what he said. We talking about how his own people look at it.
They shouldn't.
But we could talk about what they shouldn't do, but at the
What
same
they
time, that's what's
do
happening. And what
is
I'm trying
what
to
he
tell you guys,
said.
bro made a perfect point. He said the last generation rebelled, but what you guys have understanding is if you look at this time, nothing has reversed to the old ways. It's only gotten weirder and weirder. So it's not gonna reverse. So we have to be able to get acclimated to it. But the main point that I was trying to make in the beginning is our ladies, people that are out by themselves, just like these weirdos watching, we got to watch them and make sure that they get to their car safe and they leave these gas
Right.
stations and stuff. And make sure they
Facts.
have tasers. They need things because women can be taken advantage of easily, but
Nah,
so can
that's
a
a
young
fact.
boy.
I like that. I
I'm
like
not
when you
saying we
say
gotta
that though.
look
I like
out
the
for
way you
certain
talk like that.
people, We don't got to
Maki,
look out for certain people. Just make sure they have ways to protect themselves.
Maki, I want to share a little excerpt with you. About 3 months ago, I'm in front of my business. My barbershop is in the Boys and Girls Club. It's adjacent to it. It's connected to it. You know, separate interests, but it's in front, so you can see it. When I run in the morning, I end my runs often in front of the barbershop, and I have an apartment as well next door to it. So I ended my run this morning. This particular morning, when I was looking, it was a sister that came around the corner, and on top of her car was her wallet, and she didn't know she placed her wallet on the top of the car, and it was on the top of the car, and she was driving with it. It could have fell off at any time. I ran up to the car. I'm running down the street. I run up to the car. I stop my run before I get to her and walk up to the car. I pull her wallet up off the top of the hood. And while I'm getting it, I said, "My sister, God must have surely blessed you today." And before I can finish my statement, growing up in the city where I grew up at, she said, "Will you get the fuck away from my car?" And started rolling her window up with her little 4-year-old girl and 4-year-old daughter in the back seat.
Bro, you can't take offense to that, job.
So instantly,
Salute Smoke a lot.
hold on. Instantly, I took offense because first of all, there's about 40 people out front with their children lined up for the same bus trip that your child going up to. You're parked in a line of cars where parents are there, and when she said it, she looked at me. Now, mind you, I didn't run to the car. I didn't run to her. I ran to the car before her and walked to her car. Her reaction, she watched me. I stopped because I know you can get a startled or afraid. She didn't know me true. However, as she tried to roll her window up, I stuck the wallet in the window, and she was on the phone. I stuck the wallet in the window and I said, "Sis, this was on your roof." She rolled the window down, snatched the wallet out of my hand, didn't say thank you, didn't acknowledge me, and act as if it never happened. A Spanish sister that was standing on the sidewalk watched it. And when I came on the sidewalk, she was offended for me and tried to apologize.
But Ja, look, there's so many
Now,
different perspectives in that situation,
Right.
and I don't approach.
Yeah, yeah.
hold on.
Listen. No,
Listen to what.
I
Listen.
want I want
Listen
to
to my point.
counter what you're saying real
Just
quick.
listen to my point, though.
Right.
Listen to my point. Regardless of what she thought of me, regardless of her activity, reaction to me, regardless of what I was doing, I was treated as if I was a threat and a harm to her before activity of engagement, which is what I'm saying is this. In her wrongness, I seen her 3 weeks later, and I talked to the sister, and after I talked to the sister, she apologized.
Oh, you see, there you go.
But
Now listen to this.
listen.
She said she was on the phone with her sister, upset because she couldn't find her wallet.
Bro, but listen, Josh,
Yeah.
Salute Denzel.
you don't get to control if you're the villain in someone
Right.
else's story. So what I will tell you,
Right.
listen, let me
Yeah.
rebuttal that. What I will say is you first said you ran and then you walked. If I see
Right.
someone come up to my car, I wouldn't give a damn what they had in their hand. Just because I know what happened to my brother XXX, I'm
Right.
automatic. This happened to me just 2 years ago. The same way the X went out, I almost went out the same way. They could have been
Right.
trying to do something, do this, do that. But guess what? She's on the phone. She don't know what you're doing. It wouldn't matter if you was white, black, Indian, Mexican. You went up to her car window, and that's what I'm trying to tell these ladies. They're too comfortable with people just approaching, and it doesn't need to be like that. If I'm watching someone, I'm not going up to them. Like I said earlier, I wouldn't even go tell the lady, "Do you want help with your groceries?" Because I understand that we're living in a time where people's guard is up on a whole other level. So I'm not gonna
That's
just walk up to people because even though I have good intentions, it can end in a bad way. Especially I live down south. You walk up to someone's car like that, you're gonna get aired out.
Maki,
it ain't like back in the
Guess
day.
what she told me? Guess what she told me she thought I was? She thought I was a fiend coming to ask her for something.
Man, it's like that. I grew up. I'm from down
Right.
south. So
No,
I'm
no,
used to this shit.
hold on though. Where is that the same consequence of empathy that you just spoke of? Where is that for me? See,
Yeah, but it was the
the reason
again
I
it's
gave
the
that example, Cross,
It's a
is so that
circumstance.
you see that we all get it. We all
right.
get
Let
the
me say
same
right.
critique
Right. But let me
prior
say
to and treat it
right.
as that.
Right. Let
So
me say
it's,
something.
so it's not
Right.
it's
Let me
not that it's isolated. It's just that we have to identify those who are of a threat. If
right.
I was out there trying to coax her 4-year-old daughter with her wallet, then now, see, once again, see, that's the real threat.
Yeah,
However,
but what I'm saying is, Ja, that would be that type of scenario. But again, when we're saying about the appearance and how you can approach, okay, let's use how Mr. Smith said before. He said
if
he
Maki
used.
walked up to
Well,
someone with
hold
a
on. Let me
white
hold on.
collar
But
on,
let me.
Mikey,
I know, but
how would
hold
they
on.
normally act?
I know, but let me just say, Ja. Let me say. So for example, right? So if Mr. Smith with his stepdaughter. Okay, she's not black, but she's a young little girl. Right now, if he was walking down the street with her, people could they is no way. I mean, yeah, you could assume that, but that's his stepdaughter. He takes care of her, so he would be offended that you would even approach him. But you're saying, okay, but if I see that, I'm going to approach him, and then whatever the repercussions could be, because I'm confronting him about who he's with.
That didn't happen before. You did what I'm saying. Cause look, it's the gap, like Mikey said. If I'm a victim, I mean, well, I ain't gonna say a victim, but I done judged the little kids like that. You did what I'm saying, but instead of judging them, we gotta understand them. That's what, like you said, if we want to give them the game, we got to understand their game at first. You did what I'm saying. It's just like how he dressed. Black people would look at him like that. White folks look at him normal. They don't see nothing
Why
wrong
would we
with it.
look at them a certain way?
Huh?
Why would we look at them a certain way?
Shit,
Oh, I
you
promise you, I
personally,
get it all the time from my own brothers, and then they get to see how I am. When I say I'm not talking about my blood brothers, but when I go out, oh yeah, I automatically get eyes. But now it's not becoming like a that's weird. People are actually starting to embrace it.
if I seen, look, if I would have never talked to Mikey, I'll be honest. If I seen him, I probably wouldn't even talk to him. See, he making me learn that part
What?
of it.
Oh, come on,
Real,
Stone. You serious?
No, what
real
He
he's
just
saying
got a little
is you
blonde
got
in his dreads.
no.
part.
Here's what you ain't understanding. Even Maki is saying that even in our own people the same way. When I got to talking to him and me and him having conversation, I look at the people. Everybody don't do that. That's because I learned move in different areas. Most people are stuck in certain areas. So again, demographics is just showing you demographics. Like he said, I know I lived on the West Coast. On the West Coast, like even Mr. Smith said, that's normal. Like regardless of whether you want to say it or not, I decide I didn't want to be a part of that. So I moved somewhere where, hey, I moved over here, but I would be crazy not to say it ain't everywhere.
Yeah,
It's
but when
just
I
where
Right. The way
Okay, okay,
Maki
okay.
dressed,
Yeah, maybe
it's the way
it
kids
depends on
dress
where you're at.
around here.
I moved from
Right
up north.
around
I used
here.
to live in Washington where you could wear skinny jeans and people have
yeah,
gauges in the ears, and I was never seen as weird. I used to do like the Dougie in, and I wore like Vans. Now when I moved back down south to my father, he literally was calling. I'm not even gonna say certain things that he was trying to say, like why you wearing this? Why you wearing that? What the?
right.
Because he was in the streets, so he don't understand me wearing this, and I want to be I want to do this, and I want to play these video. He's looking at me like what? Like that's automatically how he's, and everybody at school was too. What is that kid wearing? Why is he wearing? I dealt with that. I dealt with that. You know what I'm saying? So it does happen
In
from my
Maki
own,
around
and
here,
I
it's a
dealt with
lot of
it
kids that
more from
dress
our
like that.
people. I dealt with it more from my people than I dealt with it from anybody else.
Around here, a lot of kids dress like that because it's the trend.
Now it
It's
is, yeah.
right. It's the trend. Like now, I see kids different color hair. I've been saying that for the last 10, 15 years. From the studs, the gauges in the ears, all of those things in the nose. I've been watching it. It's been a hodgepodge of a culture now. However, the behavior of a grown man interacting with that girl. See, the kidnapping charge was for his detainment, but they quoted that he groomed her. And when you detain someone, that's a kidnapping charge, unlawful detainment. So that's his activity. And he is
that would be
crazy
considered
as
Stockholm
hell
syndrome.
when you go get
though.
cosmetic
That would be
surgery
Stockholm.
to make your teeth like that. That's cosmetic surgery, bro. From
Yeah,
I
but
like
he
what
told,
Yesana just said right there.
and
Yesana,
when you
put
got
that
that,
up on the chat.
something wrong with you. And everybody knows something wrong with you. In your community, they know something wrong with you.
but but again, that's true. But in his community, like in them tattoos, you know that down there you go where those in those punk rock places right there. Punk rock has been around. That's been around. So again, they some of them, the grunge look, it's all been, but what has happened is has spread it amongst everybody now. So now you can't, that's like you can't say, okay, them people are weird because they like grunge, but now you got black kids, you got Lil Uzi Vert. The way he dressed now, that's punk, but he's turned into a punk rocker. He's in the skateboarding and all this. Lil Wayne, same
It's
thing. So
beautiful.
nobody,
I
right?
love it.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. You got T Grizzly. T Grizzly is a gamer. He's supposed to be a street
You know,
nigga.
didn't black people start that grunge movement? You know what I'm saying? And the house movement and
Well,
all those.
we didn't start the Gothic culture.
Nah, that's not us for sure.
Which is we're speaking of factors of, which is I began telling you that mesh, that cultural fusion with what they were doing with the bikers and the white boys and the Mexicans and the tattoos. We talking 60 years ago. However, what we got now is just a potpourri of all of that. And that's what I'm trying to explain. Not that I'm denouncing or denying anything or creating a separation in it. And so
there's black biker gangs too.
That's
Let's
not
not
my
forget
activity of conversation and dialogue. I'm just trying to tell you that we got to look at these people in our community, if they're in your community, while they're doing what they're doing. And if we ain't identifying them, then how we complaining about what's happening?
You can't identify somebody's doing
But
something.
I was going to ask, John, how can we identify just because they dress a certain way?
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. We identify behavior, bro. That's identify. It's your behavior. You could be dressed the way you want to dress. It's your behavior because your presentation is first. That's what people first see. When a person interact with you, the first thing they get from you is a visual. Then they get an audio. Then they get to interact with you. But those two basic sensories is how you get your perception.
But you never explained when Stone said if you walk, why would it give you right to walk up to him? He hasn't done anything or shown anything. Just he's walking with his stepdaughter.
I just said behavioral traits, bro. Like if you can't be
My
foolish.
So my question to you then was this
the behavioral trait is this. The behavioral trait is this. If I see a 30-year-old man courting a 13-year-old girl in my neighborhood, bro, they will tell you what I'm saying. Ain't no damn cap on the internet. Anybody know my name, Jaquim Muhammad, from Maine to Miami, bro, will tell you what I do and how I do. So I'm speaking. That's personally what I'm saying. We have to have that as a culture.
We
just
like
Maki said, he protect women. We have to have that as a culture, and we don't
got. No, I don't. Not just women.
Yeah, well, predominantly women, because men are the maintainers.
Nah, women and children first, Maki.
Well, here's the way that I look at it. Here's the way that I look at it. No.
Women are the.
Hold on, I got to make sure that we're not twisting what I say.
Right.
In the daytime,
right.
Everybody, I'm not tripping. Even though demonic things happen in the daytime.
Yeah.
At nighttime, though, any woman I see alone, red flag. So that's what I'm telling you right now is you're not gonna see this happen.
I like that.
You keep like you get one point and then you do apples to oranges. So look at this. If you identify a certain person and you see something, that's one thing. But these individuals that are doing what we were talking about originally, you're not gonna see that in person. You're not gonna see them doing
people seen that, Maki. See, we got to be honest with what the
nobody's seen that though, John. That's what
the news report said that he groomed her.
You can groom people without being in front of them. I've seen it happen it happens on the internet.
That's my point. Hold on, that's my point. How did he get with her physically? See,
it probably started on the internet. You never know.
Yeah, Maki's kind of right. Still, it's more stealthy now.
Hey, Cross, what I started saying in the beginning that we have to listen to what we say. I said in the Mexican culture, which Mr. Rojas is from, it's common to have a teenage courtest with a grown man. That's my point. So when we see that functioning in our community, and then she
But
brings
that don't mean that he's abusing her though. That's
no,
the thing,
right.
you know.
She when you groom
Right.
someone, when you groom someone, you get their trust. It's just like the altar boy. When you groom them, you get their trust. Then you commit your act. Then you get caught for it. Now we talk about it. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, let me
And
tell
we're
you
gonna be
this.
proactive
Peep
instead
game,
of
peep game,
reactive. That's all.
peep
In our
game.
community. That's all.
Hold
Look,
on, Miss Smith. Let Miss Smith speak. Let him
let me
speak.
say
Go ahead.
this. Okay, when it comes to grooming, okay, that's just like me on how I used to be. I see a certain little youngster, I groom them into being stung. Matter of fact, they be their names, allegedly. Clue Stone, Lady Stone. So what I'm saying, what's the difference then what I did than what they did? Because I groomed them to be a part of me, a part of what I believe in. And what's the
Well,
difference then?
were you torturing them and sexually
In a way,
assaulting them?
I sent them on missions. They went to the penitentiary 10, 12
Well,
years. They lost their lives when they could have been little kids and been
well,
productive.
do you feel bad about that? Do you do anything to
Hell
like
yeah, I feel
reverse
kind of
that?
bad. Hell yeah.
Well, at least you're out here talking about it and being candid about it.
Now,
So
what I'm
that's
saying, what's the difference? Just because they did it in one way, what's the difference in what I just told y'all I did or still do?
There's a moral difference. And we can't belittle the torture or the horror of either experience. However, when it comes to that incident, there's a moral difference because you didn't exactly commit upon them boys what they committed upon that girl.
I just think we all seen it from different angles, and mainly the point that the way that I'm coming from it, because we all serve in different game. And I'm not saying anybody's wrong and anybody's right. I'm just giving you my way and how I look at it. All I'm saying is, man, we got to make sure that when we see people alone by themselves, that they make it to their cars, their vehicles, and they leave. Because if
Right.
you don't, things like this can happen. People that are watching for good, there's also people that are plotting by watching.
Not only that, at least take, and I hate to cut you off, at least take the advice of now, because now we're not judging anymore of the whole totality of the appearance. Now we know what to identify. That's why I said it's okay to say something, but without doing the self-identify. So now when I can see through my eyes what a person like that looks like, okay, their teeth is sharp down. That's what I'm trying to say is when we're looking at this, it's not about whether it's the fact, okay, something is wrong with it. Okay, that was the news that we saw, that news that I saw about, damn, that's a code of those people like that. So when I see a person with teeth down now, I can watch him and I'm not watching somebody else and wasting my time on somebody else because it might be 4 or 5 different people with tattoos or whatever the case may be. Because now when we see us, and we can all admit when we see black folks now with tattoos on their face, we walk right past them. We don't think nothing about them. But then we don't know that. We don't know what people got going on in their brain. So if I see somebody with their teeth and they teeth filed down, okay, I know what that means. Just like when we see certain symbols and they say these are what these mean. Now we can identify. I don't like to put everybody in a box, or I want to just say because I see this or this certain thing, because again, nowadays we don't know. And you can get in a lot of trouble, like Mr. Smith say, man, you can pull the wrong person's card and not know that this person, hey man, he ain't even on or she ain't even on that type of time. Just like back then, we used to look at it, set it off. It wasn't right. Set it off when you saw Queen Latifah. Then all of a sudden, you start seeing all these butchers coming out with their hair braided to the back with sports bras. Now it's the norm. Now
Yeah,
it's
and they don't need a man. They don't need a man, you know. Don't
right.
need no
See what
man
I'm
around.
saying? And she brought that to the forefront. That's why we got to understand when we identified. We didn't know what that was back. Most people didn't know that because it was in the closet. But when she brought it to the forefront, now when we see that, we ask ourselves as men, why they do that? You know what I'm saying? Because we understand as men. You know what I'm saying? Even when it came down to the all these different movements we saw from the totality. Okay, this just a ploy. You have to do your research. So I did not know that people that shave their face down, regardless of tattoos, it's the teeth and it's stuff like that. There's a cult that they're saying. That's why you gotta, if you look at what the police did, it wasn't just the tattoos, because he could have said, look at these identifying markings. No, he said they're shaving their teeth down. It's a cult of them that is shaving their teeth down, and they're going around
That's some
doing this
next level
thing.
shit.
So when you see somebody like that, right, and they're not there with a victim. See, it's like it's either or. When you see him at the store, you ain't gonna say nothing to him because he minding his business. You minding yours, right?
But you didn't see him with the victim because they said he kept her locked in the room and had the door. She tried to escape at least 3 times and couldn't
Right.
when he kidnapped her.
Well, hold on. I said in the beginning, right? The call. That's what these people be running around having and doing. We come to the identifying factors of it because we should be speaking about prevention. Now, if we're not speaking about prevention of it, then we're just speaking about it. So I'm speaking in prevention of it, meaning that watching people's behavior in your community is essential.
What I'm saying is,
regardless of what
what
they
I'm
look
saying
like.
is, no, what I'm saying. Okay, we started off even in the scenario, okay, like you said, the prevention. But let's say he had handled, maybe they had handled, if it's a cult, maybe they have females that are normally dressed that was able to lure the 20-year-olds back to the house. How about that? What if it was that? See, that's what I'm saying. So we can't say that he was walking with her or being with her because he could have had an accomplice. They said it's a gang of them.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
Right. So my point is this.
It's not easily discernible, is what Cross is trying to say.
So my point is this. What about that subject are we discussing then?
It's all. No, what we're saying is all different angles that can be looked at it. That's why Maki said there's no right. He was just saying from his perspective, we have veered off into his perspective of how the look can be misinterpreted. Right. So then when you said about with the walking, right? When you said about with the walking and all that, was like, okay, yeah, that could be a possibility, but it still are different scenarios. What we're saying is he showed at the end of the day, regardless of what we said, he showed the picture. He showed the picture of the man, but then he emphasized the teeth. No matter how I look at it, how you look at it, I'm black, so I just look at the teeth.
If I see a piranha teeth man, bro, in my hood, I will be looking at him weird.
Exactly.
He will be weird, bro. Ain't nothing you can say to me or do to me about it.
Hey, look at here. What if he came in the gas station with him and got some damn gum? He got some gum. You'd be like, damn, what the hell is just sip shit if he talked to you? That's what I'm saying. So if we understand, like Mikey said, he stays away. And if he really wanted to, because again, he went back to using an analogy of TikTok, saying the influence and you can get people to meet you. What if that dude was able to already lure, like in most of the vampire movies or Frankenstein movies or
they got the culture.
What they did, they end up somebody said, master, I want to live forever. So you bring somebody into the cult, you tell them to go get somebody and recruit some people. So that's how they could have got lured in by a regular girl that looks regular. They got her out there, like usually a lot of times in these big, what they call gangs, and like you said, these cults, they have multiple people that are doing different functions, because other than that, it's been under the radar. That's why I said this is not an isolated thing. So like you said, this is an organization of people. So in an organization, everybody plays levels of the organization, right?
Hey, bro. I done seen some stuff with different people in different places, including our people. You feel me? So ain't nothing new under the sun, bro. Believe me.
That's what we're saying.
It's shit going on in our own world, in our environment. We have a subculture that most people know, the underworld, that most people look at in the same vile manner. So to each his own, just keep your stuff that I don't do and disagree with you, and let me keep the stuff that you disagree with and you don't do with me.
Right, exactly. Because at the end of the day, what happens is, think about it. Like he was saying, like people look at him. He might be say for instance, you don't. He's not gonna let you get that far to see his teeth. Maybe he got pretty girls. Like a lot of them get them females.
If
Imagine the
if he
females
do that
go over
to
there, and then
any female in my world, he ain't got to worry about his teeth because he ain't gonna have life.
no, I give you a prime example. What's that? Hold on. What's that one black dude that went to jail? He used to be on the internet. That old dude that used to talk about that African and all that. He had the ponytail with the braids. Found out he had AIDS. He had a cult. He in prison right now. What's his name? He was, yeah, see? What did he do? He didn't go out there per se. He brought him into you saw that video. You know who I'm talking about, that black brother that was all over the internet and shit. That no, not Polite. He was worse than Polite. He know who I'm talking about. I know who I'm talking about. That's why I said that.
No, Polite's an example though.
But yeah, but
Polite.
Polite is
No
exactly.
light, you mean?
That?
No light. This nigga's the tackiest nigga on the internet.
Look, the only
Versace
thing.
down.
Hold on. The only thing between the only thing between brother Polite. Look, only thing between brother Polite and the dude right there with the teeth is Polite got big ass lips. He got teeth.
Yo, because Polite is an example.
Oh, man.
Hold on. Polite is an example of the shit that I'm talking about. Because when you see his presentation, then you watch his behavior.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. But in Polite situation, remember, he went through somebody else to get to that little girl. He went through the mother, but the intent was not the mother. So you can't say that the mother was the one that brought her in. Again, they had a handler
No. What I'm saying is this: behaviors predicate the action. Now he committed an action that he was accused of allegedly. However,
that nigga did that shit.
Hold on, watch this. However, the reason you say that, because those behavior traits that he was submitting and committing and exposing prior to that led to that.
Not prior, because listen,
led to that idea of culpability.
Think about this. We're at right now, and because prime example. Now we're talking about, like Maki said, we are connecting old school wise. He don't know what the hell we talking about. Do you get what I'm saying? But listen,
let's educate him that we're talking about the same type of activity that has happened. Like Mr. Rojas had his own cult and seduction, just like he had his cult of seduction.
So listen, so that goes back to say, right? Let's go back to say, in our culture, that's like in our culture, we saw somebody like that, we left them alone. But there are certain people that in our culture end up gravitating to him versus like in that culture. That's what I'm saying when I say we can't just, man, think about it. Even now, he walking around here, I ain't seen no niggas run up on him and ask him why he did what he did.
Who Rojas or Polite?
Polite.
Man, they on Polite ass everywhere.
Yeah. It sounds.
Ain't nothing better than a good name, bro. Good name is better than gold, bro. When your name is hurt, you hurt.
I understand that, but but it doesn't matter. But everybody didn't know who he was. Just like now, everybody didn't know who this dude was.
And when they found out, the penalty is the penalty.
Now we know. So when we all see them people moving around, going around there, bro, please, man, be careful, man. Like I said, it ain't, when you see them damn when you see them damn teeth, dog, that's why I be looking at. I'm like, okay, you ain't got no diamonds and gold in them. Them ain't no your boy shit you got going on up in there. But yeah, that shit right there, like Trippie Redd shit. No, that's some other shit. And man, then we might have to question Trippie Redd. Yeah, Trippie Redd, you around there eating motherfuckers too? God damn, these niggas with these sharp teeth.
See, I could give you some game about Trippie Redd. I could give you some game about Trippie Redd. See, you guys, I have people ask me, hey, bro, what type of rooms do you be in? Bro, these are the top echelon artists in the game. Guess what? Trippie Redd is nothing like what you see on the internet. He's cool. He sits down. He plays video games. He's a regular dude, and guess what? The dudes that are around
Man,
him,
that little nigga look like a little demon.
but look, y'all are
Sorry,
going
though.
to
Hey,
see.
hey, you
No,
mean to
but
tell me
see,
his relatives?
no,
Hey, you mean to
but
tell me
listen,
his relatives didn't know something was wrong with him?
Bro, I'm just telling you right now,
he
none of
telling
his
you he
fans.
ain't. Yeah, but he's telling you he's nothing like that. It's all for the internet. It's the
No,
TikTok.
I'm talking about Rojas. I'm talking about Rojas. You mean to tell me when he got his teeth cosmetically constructed like a piranha, his family, like brothers and sisters, mom and
Not
dad,
if he's part of a cult. Not if he part of the cult. That's his family. It's like your
Ooh,
boy.
well,
It's like your boy
well,
when he said, Don't drink the Kool-Aid." Your boy took all these people and they gave all this
Jim
money,
Jones,
flew all the way over there and killed everybody and told everybody they was gonna die. Now you wouldn't get on the plane and go over there. I
nope.
wouldn't. But guess what? It was a whole. They had a damn village of people, dog. And then his ass didn't even kill himself. That's why I said, you a cold motherfucker to
Talking about
make
Jim
people drink.
Jones.
Yeah, Jim Jones, cold motherfucker, dog. He
Yeah,
told everybody get ready, and then they had to shoot Jim Jones. Jim Jones wild as hell. He wild as hell.
Yo, what's the most threatening looking person in society right now? Let me ask y'all.
Man, you know what I watch?
threatening looking.
I watch like Mark Ed, them dudes that be dressed up in them suits and they be all regular people that live like next door to you that you don't know. Like, think about it. When you watch a lot of this stuff, like that black girl, they said her clothes was nice, she was well dressed, but then the whole time she using a drill to drill her kids' hands. Man, it's shit like that. That's a next door neighbor. Them the
Man,
ones that's all fucked up, not
so
the
it's safe
one.
to say that we can't really identify who's the most ruthless from who's not,
There
right?
you
that's all
go.
I've been trying to
There
say.
you go. That's
That's all
all
I've been
we've
trying to
been
say.
saying.
Times have
That's
changed.
that's what
Times have
we've been
changed.
Man,
saying, bro.
the same God of War has always been the same God of War.
That's
Ain't
subjective.
nothing changed.
See, but again, that's where
Ain't
it
nothing
goes.
changed. Ain't nothing changed. You can't find a black American name on a handgun. I'll
I
wait.
understand
See,
that.
see,
I
Hey,
I
hey,
see
hey,
understand
how
that.
you
I'll wait.
approach. I
I'll
see
wait.
how you approach
Hey,
every
I'm just giving
situation.
us our
So I
I
reality.
can't
understand it.
hear
When
my
he asked what a social threat was, the number one social threat in America, where I live at for the last 50 years, is me, a black man. So, like I said, you can't find anything
What?
different.
Bro.
Listen carefully, Matt. You can't find anything differently because the person that has created that is the God of War. I'm not he. So when we ask that direct question, that's totally different than Mr. Rojas. Mr. Rojas look a certain way, and we all would look at him differently if he was in our presence. However, if he's committing a crime, then we address it. If not, we leave him be.
The
Mind
only
his
thing that bothers me is like you say we you
yeah.
you're speaking from you. You're not
No,
speaking because you
no, no,
don't
no,
you
no.
can't.
Right. I'm speaking from as a collective. My bad.
But you're no, you're speaking from yourself, but you're projecting it onto the collective. Because I wouldn't look at him a certain type of way.
Well, like I said, you're not a part of that collective.
Why am I not? Because I look at him for wait,
No, 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 no,
whoa.
no, 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 no. It's just like this. If I choose to be a rock musician, you
Mhm.
can't be upset with me because you're a hip hop artist. You're not a part
But
of that
but
collective.
guess what? No, I'm still I do rock and I do rap, so I'm
No,
a part of
And
both.
you
hold on.
and at the end, hold on, John. And at the end of the
Hold on.
day, you're
Then
an
you would
artist. Because
identify me. Then
I
you would
consider him as an
identify me
artist.
as a alike.
But listen, I understand, John. But as the totality, I'm an artist. I feel like I'm just on this. Like I do clothes. I'm an artist, graphic design artist. That's what I do. So I'm an
Can you play a
artist.
lead guitar?
But that doesn't necessarily consider me. If you're an athlete, can you wrestle and can you shoot ball and can you play football? Can you
And
can you play badminton? Can you do baseball? Is I'm
Not,
still an
not
athlete?
all,
yeah,
not
he's an
all at a
artist.
consistent
Art is
level.
art. Art can be
Yes,
many things, not just
art is
music.
art, but there's different genres of art, just like there's different cultures of life.
But rather
So,
you do
so
whatever
when we have
genre you do, an
differences,
artist is an artist. You're a person
well,
who does art.
right, when we have differences, just like you can have a concert with rock
Art
music,
art imitates
pop
life,
music,
Josh.
and hip hop, you can have a concert with different types of music from different artists, from different cultures or genres of music. But it all will be considered the art of music, not commercial art or graphic art. See, there's different types because art is an artistic universal activity or expression. So when we talk about people's dress and fashion, that man got them teeth like that with that damn girl with him, I'm gonna have a problem with it.
Man. This is why I say you say there's no disconnect. This is why I say there's a disconnect because you're speaking off
Only
of
we make the
what it
disconnect.
you're speaking off what it was, and I'm speaking about what it is.
I'm speaking on community protection.
And then you're like, this is what happens in my neighborhood,
You
but
see,
you
this
don't
is
get.
the generational gap right here. But it's good. It's good dialogue because y'all both getting a perspective, both
Facts.
perspectives
Let's
that make
bridge the
sense.
gap.
And
If
that's
there's a
why I
gap that
love.
exists,
That's why I
let's
tell people
bridge
you
it.
have to be able to agree to disagree. I don't got to prove to you my way is right, and you don't got to prove it to me. I just got to make sure that you don't twist
Right.
my words and
Oh,
make it seem
I'm not.
different.
I'm not definitely trying to prove that your way is right or my way is right. I'm just telling you
Right.
the perspective of reality, and
Facts.
that's based on a
But
very
that depends on who. But that depends on whose reality you're speaking on. Everybody has a
reality
different
don't
way of
disagree with
looking.
any. Well, reality don't disagree with anyone. Neither can we disagree with reality. We can have our perspective and our verbal expression, but reality is what's real. So we that's where the world has been confused. People get opinionated rather valuing the facts.
But would you say the neighborhood you grew up is a representation of America?
Every neighborhood is a
Wait,
representation.
no. Because I can tell you where I grew up in that's not a representation of the whole United States. So I can't speak like, oh, that's what it was like in my. I got to speak from a whole like point of view. Because this lady, she wasn't in the hood when she got kidnapped, if I'm not mistaken.
There's some of the same
Right.
things that exist in every hood in America. Like every hood in America got police.
Not the one I grew up in.
All right, well, you grew up in another country then.
There was no,
Nah,
I
nah,
didn't.
nah,
No,
nah,
I
There's
grew
a
up
listen.
down
there's a
south.
legal authority of
The
every there's a
police
legal
didn't
authority
come.
of every state
The police
that's
didn't
in the
come.
union.
The police didn't come to us. They lit us to
No, no,
shorties
no,
though.
no, not that they come. They exist. They're there for a purpose by systematic control. So that's
Yeah, but
common.
remember, John, that's just like 300. Remember, we did that video on Philly, where they hit. Was it Philly? Yeah, it was. No, yeah, Philly hit for almost a decade, 300 plus murders, and before this year was out. So a lot of them, where was the police at then?
Yeah, he's right. He's right on this one, Ja.
560 murders in Philadelphia. As a matter of fact,
Exactly. So then,
hold,
where was the
hold on,
police at then,
hold
if
on.
they
Listen carefully.
exist?
There's police in every municipality that belongs to the union, from Hawaii to Alaska. You know
That's a
why?
fact.
It's a part of. I'm just giving a commonality that's in every environment of America. And there's a reason why that I gave that analogy or that
But
answer.
some places are police more than others. You know that, Ja.
Well,
Come
hold
on,
on.
man.
Hold on, bro. My only answer of police was Tamaki's statement, which
Hmm.
is that there's a difference in every municipality or county or state in America, which the commonality
Yeah,
is
I think we all know that, but I think he's
a
speaking
police
on his
state.
Right.
experience.
So
Yeah,
I'm
he
giving an
knows that.
example. It's
Yeah.
just an example to the statement. That's all.
But listen, John, let me ask this though back to the question about 10, 15 minutes ago. How do we fix like how Mikey said we keep skipping over that part?
All,
That's what he's trying to say
all,
for as
all we have to do is follow this simple African proverb.
but what
The
I'm
elders,
saying is
the
like
elders, the elders are for counsel, and the
yeah,
youth are for war. Now, when we begin living up under that function, that activity, meaning this, if I run a marathon, bro, and I know where there's every pitfall and trap in the marathon, and I make it back, when my son run that marathon, he's going to have a keen knowledge of every trap, pitfall, and obstacle so that he can run it easier, smoother, faster, and better than I did. And it's my responsibility as a father to make sure he's educated and conditioned with this knowledge. So to all children, I teach children sensibility, knowledge of self, cultural and communal responsibility. It's a must that we change how we function with each other instead of focusing on the indifferences, focus on the alikeness. And that's
see
what we
that's
need
what
to shift
Mikey
towards.
said.
But you're
That's what
That's what we
focusing
need.
on the indifferences because you just
yeah.
said when you see a certain individual, they're different than you, so you see them as a threat.
No, I
Yeah,
didn't say
like
I see them as a threat. I said I see them as being different. I said if his behavior is a threat to my environment, my community, then there is a alert. I didn't.
but
I said that man could be
hey,
able to say
one
all he
question, John,
wants
what
with
is
his
the
teeth.
behavior though? Because look, if you see me, people will think my behavior all messed up, right? But in reality, whatever you perceive me to be, that ain't me. Like I say, you might line to come up on me, you get shot, or I might have a conversation, but still you in violation. Because in your mind, just because I behave in a certain way and you think it's wrong, you gonna come up to me. Nah, that ain't how it rocket, that ain't how it go. In the real world, that's
Right,
not how it's gonna
right.
go.
In the
And
real world, right? But in the real
look,
world, would you shoot a police that will approach you with you and your child
hell
like
yeah, you scared it? I just damn near had that damn shit. That's
Yep.
why I'm on paper right now.
Right.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
so
That's
so so
why I'm going
so
through
so,
what I'm
so
going
you
through
so you
now.
live
That's what he's
you,
saying.
so we live in a world, our world, right? Our country. Well,
I'm just
currently,
saying
your
it's
state
messed up.
shoot a
Forget the
police officer.
police.
Now you live in the same state. You live in the same state where a white woman shot a police officer that was a pastor on the highway. A white woman also shot a black man that was in his apartment when she claimed she didn't know what apartment she was in. Now, I find it hard to believe that we could just shoot a cop if he approach us or have a discernment or concernment, not a discernment, a
It depends
concernment.
on the state
Because
of
my
mind you're in.
concern would be
You
the
can't.
child. My concern would be the child. So any father would say, hey, thank you, my brother, for protecting or being concerned for my child in the community, speaking, because
Nah, everybody
No,
your,
if
gonna
you
say,
came up to
your
my
interest is
father,
to
if you
protect
came
them.
up to my father and tried to check him about how he was doing his
I'm
teeth,
not checking him. See, where's this confrontational?
because as a
Uh,
man, you don't want nobody walking up telling you how to, you
Hold
know what
on,
I'm
bro.
saying?
Any man question me about my child when I have her with me, about her well-being, and I state that I'm her father, instantly, first, there's an appreciation of gratitude if I'm a civilized being. Secondly, he's already shown his compassion for his community. If I'm a savage or a nigga, then I automatically take that wrong and accuse that man of doing
It's
what
not
he
even just about
should,
being
what
black
he
though.
hold
If I
on,
walked
bro.
up to a white man and
Hold
I
on, bro.
said,
We're
"Hey,
speaking
what do
from
you?"
our perspective, remember? So
I'm
let's speak
speaking
from our
I'm
perspective.
speaking from everybody's perspective.
Right.
But
You speak.
you can't do that because remember what you just said. I can't speak for the collective, right? Which includes you. So you cannot do the same. It's
No, I
real
said
simple.
you can't project your individual outlook on the whole group because we're
Not
coming.
the
What we're
group.
talking to you from?
We're speaking about society, not the group. It's never
No, no,
personal.
no. What I'm saying though is the group is society. You're just talking about if black this, black that. I'm telling you in general what we need to do
Yeah,
to
we're
attack this.
speaking to the internet.
Okay, well, I haven't spoken in separatives. I've spoken from a personal perspective since we dawned it to a personal
And that's part
perspective
of the
when you
problem
denied
when
the
you're trying
collective.
to.
We can't have it both ways and still be right. You
But
denied the collective. Then I begin speaking from a personal perspective.
no,
So
no, bro. I'm
as
trying to tell you, bro.
so
Like
as such, hold on, I listen to you. Just listen to me. Let's be the same so that we can be together instead of apart. That's my point. We can't have it
you
both
can't
ways.
say be the same though when you want to separate us from everybody else.
We're not being separated. As a matter of fact, black people are already separated, but that's a different story. We're not
Bro,
separated, bro.
bro.
he's saying
What I'm telling you is
how,
that we're addressing Mr. Rojas is not in the black community, but we're speaking of him. That's my point.
yeah, but what he's saying is he feel like you separating him right now.
I
That's
don't
how
want
he
us to
feels.
feel, I want us
Right.
to know. That's what I'm telling my brother. I am not.
But you can't
Men,
beat it up to him,
hold
John.
on,
I get what you
listen,
saying.
Tone. As men, we don't deal with our feelings, we deal with facts.
We got to
So
stop thinking
I'm telling my brother,
of everybody but the
I'm
enemy,
telling my
bro.
brother for a fact that
We
I
just
am
keep
not
speaking
no
from a
way
victim
imposing that
mentality
on
though.
him.
That victim mentality is not going to do anything progressive.
Who's the victim?
Like we're just sitting here saying, we're separated, bro. We're
Right.
having a discussion about people getting taken advantage of when they don't have protection. We're not saying
That's why I'm asking who's the victim.
you're making it seem as if we're the victim. That's what you're just sitting here saying. Like it's just this and it's just that. When we're not speaking about one specific culture.
No. I said who's the victim specifically.
The victim was the lady that got taken out of her own will.
Exactly by Mr. Rojas, right?
What? What?
We're talking about Mr. Rojas, the offender of the young lady that was
Yeah, yeah,
taken,
yeah, yeah.
right? And his cohorts that gang raped, tortured, and abused her.
Mm-hmm.
So in saying that, as a man of responsibility in my community, when I give rhetoric to it, I speak from that perspective of protection and being proactive so I can identify these behaviors based upon what I learned. And that's the perspective of being a responsible person. I
Yeah, I
don't want
think
to
we
be
can
Well,
I
put it
think
like
both
put
agree
it
with
like
that.
this, John. Even if you went up to him and say, "Yo, what are you doing with this kid? What's going on?" You ask him
I
20 other
agree with
questions,
that.
and he still turns around and does. If he convinced you that
But
he's
who
not
was the
doing, you
person
know what I
to
mean?
who was but what I'm saying, who was anybody to
It's
convince
hard to
anybody
discern
to
for real.
anything? Because if I'm walking with my stepdaughter, she's a whole different shade than me.
hey, yes,
Who is
in
who
my
is
humble
anybody to
opinion,
walk up to?
in
Huh?
my humble opinion, I share my perspective.
I'm just saying that's not safe. That's why maybe that's why all these killings the way they is. You can't just I mean, my opinion, just my opinion. You just can't walk up to somebody,
Hey man,
especially in this moment in
hey, man,
time.
it's deep, right? That type stuff can happen, but yet, like you said, the killings can happen the way they're happening. You see the dude that shot the dude in the stomach in the drive-through the
Yeah,
other
but
day.
that's unnecessary killing though.
That,
That's
but
what I'm saying. That's
yeah,
a killing
so
that
so
could be
it's so it's
prevented.
that unnecessary kidnapping, rape.
Yeah, it's out unnecessary, but if you coming up to somebody, if I'm walking up to somebody I know, if I'm finna question this man, I know I'ma say,
Like now, the hero
I
becomes
know it's a way, it's either I'm gonna get shot or he gonna talk to me. That's what it's only two options.
right.
Especially if I'm finna come ask him about a little girl he walking with.
Yeah,
I
and you
mean,
know,
I get it in the perfect world that would be nice, but that ain't the case.
but
You
Stone,
can't just
Stone ain't no sensible man gonna be like, hey, hey, come here, man. You're not gonna do that. Like I said, in your community, meaning that somebody knows her, bro. It's not like she live in a world where nobody knows her.
we
Nobody
said the
watches
beat.
her. Like
We said
nobody
the beat.
watches her. You hide on the internet, but you function in real life. Somebody
Yeah.
knows something.
Yeah, I get it, but we said the beach though, just Joe Blow, just
Yeah,
in the public.
yeah,
I
he
ain't
ain't Joe
talking
Blow.
about
That dude ain't Joe Blow, bro.
Yo, you remember when that Mexican dude kidnapped those two girls in Cleveland
Yep,
and had them
yep,
held hostage for like 3 years?
yep. He had a bunch of girls though.
Exactly. People didn't know nothing.
No, no,
People
no.
see them every single day.
Guess
You
what?
know
Guess
what
what?
I'm saying? Come
The
on,
neighbors,
John.
the neighbors
It ain't
knew.
easy. It ain't that easy to see, bro.
I'm
The
You know
neighbors.
That's
what
what
I mean?
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It ain't that easy to see.
Well, I'm
You
not saying
know.
that that's easy to see, but the neighbors knew that he was that type of guy. That's my point.
So you saying the neighbors were in on it?
Like
that.
no,
How
no,
they
no, no. Listen carefully what I'm saying. I'm just put it this way. I'm just trying to put you up on simple game. The behaviors of a person
Mhm.
prior to their act of or committal of a crime or even a good deed. When you see
Mhm.
the behavior of a good man, you know
Mhm.
you can perceive or predict what he would or wouldn't do in a certain instance. Like the children around me know that Uncle Joakim is not going to let nothing physically come to their harm when they're
Right.
right around me. So
Mhm.
that's my point. The person that you are, when you come to a person's community, bro, the way you
No,
know a good
I
man
like that. I like that, John.
is that you can ask any person in his community
You
his
gotta
name.
let it be known. Don't fuck around here.
If
Yeah,
bro, if
I
you
know.
come in
I
my
know.
community and say my name, you get
Yeah,
a
yeah.
good warm reception. A person
Mhm.
says, "You talking about Brother Jakim?" Right away,
Right.
or you talking about Uncle Ja? Well, go
Right.
to the barber shop right there. He'll be right there throughout the day, blah, blah, blah. Or they'll ask you, yeah, what's good with you? Well, what you want to see him for? That's how some of them are.
Mhm.
But the same reception is important as men. And what I'm trying to share with Maki and us and Stone is that as they rise in our community, be those type of men, regardless of the presentation, be the character. Because the
Yeah.
character is everything. The same
Yeah.
sister that had a character that believed that I had a different intention,
You gotta
see
plant them
me
seeds.
later,
Yeah, you're right.
friendly with me, and speak to me whenever she sees me, because she now sees the character of the man that I am. And not only did I not condemn her to the point, I expressed how that affected me, but I also expressed that I understood. And that's my point. We have to be more considerate, but more protective at the same time so that these things don't visit our homes, bro. because
You
I
did. I ain't walking up on no dude.
that when I don't
I
watch
ain't
the
doing
person do that.
I ain't walking up on him. I ain't trying to get shot. I don't want no problem.
Hey,
But
hey, I get me neither, Stone. But I tell you one thing: when I see a nigga acting shifty in my hood and I approach him, see, it ain't. Hey, man,
yeah,
first
that's
on the draw,
different. Though.
first on the
You
draw,
can,
rights to law. First on the draw, rights to law. Then you had that attitude if you want. You know, like I said, I ain't approaching you foolishly, but like I said, we have
but
to
if
Yeah,
be
you
we're gonna be
proactive.
quick on the draw. It's true, man. Because yo, look
Yeah,
what
yeah,
happened in.
we're proactive in what we do to protect our people. That's all.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's all I'm saying, bro. And
Cause
Mr.
you
Clark,
remember the shooter in what you call it, Buffalo? He
yeah.
came, he went to the
Woo.
grocery store and he scoped out the place. You know what I'm saying, for a couple of days, and people
have
were just
short
like,
teeth, hey, did he have short teeth? I'm just asking.
no, he didn't have sharp teeth, but he was looking hella suspicious. You
That
know what I'm
nigga
saying?
was dressed like Call of Duty.
Yeah, you know, and the fact of the matter is, people were talking to him. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
There's a black guy
Yep.
that spoke to him and everything like that. And he spoke,
Exactly.
candidly about certain things, and then boom, the next day, so we have what Josh's saying is right, but at the same time, it's like,
But you
Yeah,
talking
but
about a guy with a trench
yeah,
coat though. If he looking like
no,
Call of
no,
Duty,
he didn't have no trench coat. He had
Dressed like
army
Call of
boots,
Duty. He was dressed
regular white boy.
like
You know what I'm saying?
he even had the
But
cameras on, bro.
yeah,
Showed up.
it's
See, but that's my point. Like influence, he got that from the video game and lived it.
well, no,
nah.
not
He
video. No,
he
it's
was a
social
he was
media.
an operative. He was an
Hold on,
operative.
But it's
bro. Hold on,
still
bro.
social media.
My man got it. He went live and publicized it, just like
Yeah,
I
social
played a
media.
video game about once a day. He did the same exact activity and assault, just with a racial mindset of only killing black people through his horror. Let's not get it confused, bro. That man was already a part of something prior that his family and them knew about. Just like the boy out there in the Midwest that came through the neighborhood in Missouri and shot the people.
Yeah,
And
but this,
the parents brought the
maybe,
gun.
but we can't say that people knew that this girl. They was looking for the girls. She was missing. That's what I'm saying. Like in this situation, the girl was missing, and nobody knew where she was. She was, you know what I'm saying? She was. That's what I'm saying, and he kept her in there. Like they said, they continuously raped her, and the
Facts, yes,
reason why
sir.
she got it was because she was pregnant. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
They raped her. They don't even know. Like it's a cult. That's what I'm saying, and it's gonna probably unravel about this cult. It's gonna probably get bigger. It just came out last night. What I saw, where the now you better believe. I'm pretty much sure you better believe in people because the sheriff just put the bulletin out to let people know. Hell, you don't know what they got going on. Maybe they trying to impregnate these people to have these babies to do some other sick twist. A lot of that's what I'm saying. We can't just
yeah, that's
focus
true,
on just
Cross.
one. Yeah, it's you can't focus on just one thing because it's a lot of variables in here. Like Josh said, he has a point. Maki has a
That's what I'm
point.
saying. We all have a good point on
Yeah,
this, and I like the build, because
Definitely,
it's
exactly.
definitely.
different perspectives
Yeah.
creates
There's no. That's
a
why I try
better
to tell
understanding.
people. So I don't want people to. That's why I be trying to say like we can't just focus on one thing because what it does it makes it seem like there's not one angle. And like I said, a lot of these times these videos is from the teeth, it's from the identifying, it's from the girl, the cultures, different cultures. It's all many different variables. But at the end of the day, like Mike, we come back to what we said is it's an innocent person that did not deserve to have that, to become victimized like that, to be beaten, to be raped,
Right.
to end up getting impregnated to the point where she fought. You got to salute a hero. The hero is her because she figured out a way to get the hell out of there because she knew. And just imagine when this story comes out, there's more
Facts.
things. And again, and I want to tell everybody on the internet world, everything we're saying is allegedly. We don't know, but it's a great bill to have. And on that note, I want to thank y'all for coming in on the panel. I want to thank everybody, every king come on here again. Salute to everybody because all our minds, iron sharpens iron, like I always say, right? And that's the only way we can go to battle. So again, from Maki's perspective, he's absolutely right. Like when he's getting looked at, that's why I bring him on him. That's why I allow him to come on here, because in my eyes, me looking from the outside in, knowing how what's going on, I could easily sit back and judge him. But no, I give him the benefit of the doubt, because it goes back to the old saying, never judge a book by its cover. But once you open that book up, you need to read him. You need to read them. That's why I go up to the school. That's why I got to get off here so I can go up here, because they one more day out of school. They got a half a day tomorrow. My son had exams this morning, so he told me he had no problem. He aced them, so I'm proud of him. And then I got this
Salute to
game.
you, Cross, on that note, for real though. On that note,
yeah.
We need a lot more of us in these schools, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I constantly, like I said again, and y'all give me the motivation to build, to have something to talk about, to build off of throughout the day. So again, I appreciate all y'all for respecting the platform, respecting each other's minds, and we'll continue to grow, because this is what makes it great. The content becomes great. Everybody, like the old saying is, an all in getting understanding. So as long as we get an understanding and have everybody have a better perspective, and allowing that door to open up a little bit more, whether it be like John said, he trying to open up the door a little bit more for him, understanding from his perspective, Mr. Smith respecting how Mikey is, and then Mac connecting from being over there. So again, the build is strong. We continue to build, we continue to keep understanding. And again, we'll agree. Either we can talk about it, we can agree to disagree, but we all understand that there is a big cult that's out there, and watch out for motherfuckers with their teeth, because again, they could have been doing that shit in the house. They probably got tattoo guns, artists. It might be some old wild shit with the gauges. They might got a bike club. It could be connected to all types of shit, trafficking, child trafficking, human trafficking, all types of weird shit. So again, I'm gonna try to keep up on this, and salute to everybody coming in, everybody that came in the comment section, showed us some love. I respect it. Everybody on the panel, the kings and everything. And on that note, I'm gonna let everybody do their little outro. And I respect y'all kings, and y'all be blessed. And we're going to talk a little bit later on today. So we're going to go around the table. We're going to start with Big Mac. We're going to do my guy, Mikey, then John, then Mr. Smith. And salute to all y'all kings and queens that came in the chats and Mars. You already know, man. Thank y'all for tuning in to the Plug Podcast by Cross Your Heart.
Yeah, man. What a great build tonight, you know what I'm saying? Well, tonight. This morning. don't let me mess that up, but yeah, man, we had a great build, you know. It's good to talk about these things, because these things are critical in what's going on around us everywhere that we see, you know what I'm saying, where we need to fix. I understand that we got a lot of work to do, man. I like the fact that we built on that, you know what I'm saying? And I think Smoke a Lot said it. Labeling, man. Labeling is a real thing, you know what I'm saying? So once we get the labels off, we can unveil what's really under the product, you know what I'm saying? So let's get these labels off, man. You know what I'm saying? And really understand everybody's perspective and where we come from. So salute to y'all, brothers. You already know what time it is.
The bass drop. All right, yeah. I appreciate everybody for the dialogue. Shout out to John for his perspective. Shout out to Mr. Smith. Shout out to Big Mac. And shout out to, you already know, Cross for tying it up. He said, listen, don't judge a book by its cover, but once you open that book, man, read it. Thank you guys for once again showing me we can have a productive conversation by just agreeing to disagree. We don't have to disrespect one another. And I'm going to share this to all the youth watching me, because this is what they need to see. They don't think we can have discussions like this. So I appreciate everything. I'm honored to be on the panel again. Much love. It's the Plug Podcast. It's the Plug. And with that being said, I'm out.
Peace and blessings to the gods and nerds, the kings and queens of the universe. You already know it's Dr. Rock coming to you once more, just letting you know it's a blessing to be a part of a social group of black men and women that can actually speak from every perspective, from the youngest of our youth to our experienced elderhood. It's also a blessing to have different perspectives to gain a universal understanding of a common problem. So it's always a blessing to be with my brothers and sisters. And remember, we family, we want, regardless of whom or what. Unapologetically black, 24/7, 365 is the only way to survive and stay alive. Peace.
Hey man, salute to the mob chat, salute Cross, Jai, Big Bad, Spencer, salute to the little homie Mikey, man. Gonna bridge that gap, we're gonna get it right. You see what I'm saying, man. Cross, keep doing your thing with your food, bro.